Hello, and welcome to Tales from the Temple Tankard. I am Jim, aka Urgent Wind, your dungeon master for Avress, the Shattered World. We have our new episode tonight. Unfortunately, we are down one Eldon. He will not be able to join us tonight there, so you'll see the big old absent in his window there. Um, but we he will hopefully be back next week, and we all be all good to go from there. But um, before we get started, just want to remind you guys, if you're out there watching, if you're watching through Discord, cool, good to see you there. If you're not, check out our Discord server. Links are below, um, and you can jump into our servers and check out events, get into games, and all kinds of stuff there with our community. Also, Thursday nights we are doing a DM&D chat where I go and kind of take questions from the chat and go over various subjects. This is on Thursday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. This upcoming episode will be talking about encounter design, like how to make encounters more dynamic and strange and fun and a little bit more like fleshed out and such. So we'll be doing it this Thursday. It's coming Thursday at 5:30. With that, though, let's go ahead and jump in and kind of get a little quick recap and pick up where we left off from last session. So our party has made it back to Ravenscrest, they're kind of their home base of operations. After some travels and some difficulties, they managed to make it back there. On the way back, they did encounter a little altercation on the road between a person they met before, Brevalor, a wood elf, who was a part of a traveling apothecary slash herbalist group, who was being attacked, trailed by one Sebastian Blackcoat, Trevor's older brother. They managed to stop anything too crazy from happening there, and after a tense standoff and a little bit of a threatened gunfire or an actual gunfire exchanged, managed to get everyone back to town and kind of work out what was going on. Finding out that Brevalor was part of an organization he mentioned called the Order of the Green Vial, that he thought was just a traveling apothecaries and herbalists there to find resources and help people when they can, and revealed that it was actually something much, much more sinister. Um, the group dealing with various narcotics and other sinister schemes. Trevor's parents fell uh, to one of these schemes, and it caused their deaths, leaving Sebastian A, the one everyone thought had done it, and B, him on the run trying to hunt down this organization. Um, Back in Craven's Rest, they did kind of work it out there, talked it over, find out what's going on there, and it seemed that Brevalor actually had left the organization after finding out they were up to something very dark and potentially dangerous up in the village of Silverleaf to the north. After that, they kind of gathered together at the house there, had a little bit of a party, relaxing time there, kind of making plans, trying to figure things out. Discussed looking at the temple of the Raven Queen there, the Temple of Eternal Rest, where they found that an item had been stolen. They feared it was the skull that they were after, the skull of the Dark King, but it turned out to be the actual diamond used for a number of powerful rituals and spells that the temple is responsible for. The diamond known as the Raven's Eye. It had been stolen. In investigating, they determined that the most likely culprit for this may have been goblins. That's or a goblin, or maybe more than one. It's hard to tell exactly. That seemed to have stolen this item. They also found the possible resting place for where the skull of the Dark King might be. In the morning, they came back, met up with Streva, the high priestess of the temple, and asked her to use the stone shape to move a stone block, and in doing so, unleashed something, an undead presence of some kind, a swirling mass of of darkness and ash, taking the form of some kind of a wraith. And after a altercation with this being, it was That's where we left off as some attacks and stuff were exchanged. The being was turned by Strava, who backed away a bit and said they were there to protect the skull and prevent it from being taken. So we pick up with the group of you in the Temple of Rest. Let's go ahead and move ourselves onto the map and kind of show where that is, and figure out what you're doing here. So, Barty, what are you doing here now? At the moment, there's a tense standoff. The shadowy wraith-like figure is kind of backed into a corner in the square temple of the south there. The metal box that contains the skull is exposed but not lifted out of its hiding place. Um, and that's where we leave ourselves there.
I believe I just shot like 4 shots at it, right?
Yeah, you definitely had thrown a lot of damage by way of the wraith there. It was still intact, still there. The shot's not doing nearly as much damage as they should, because it's an incorporeal presence. So the bullets did some damage, but not as much as they should. Of course.
Didn't it ask us to leave it alone? That its job is to protect it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I believe Lucas had an idea of what this entity actually was.
Yeah, because it was speaking celestial.
Mm-hmm. Yes, an undead speaking celestial, which I believe Lucas and Trevor recognized. That it was essentially saying it was there to protect this thing and prevent it from being taken from its hiding place.
So we need to put the box back, basically.
Okay.
Strava, if you can.
Let me double check something real fast on that. I believe she might still have the spell up that she used to uncover it. She was using Stone Shape, and I want to see what the duration of that spell is real fast. So it has not been very long here. I believe it is. She did what she did it, and it's yeah. So she moved the stone out of the way, exposed the block there. She can't put it back exactly yet. But she could after a time when she can a chance to rest and hide it away again. I'm not able to cast it again today, but I hopefully will be able to later on after I've rested. And she's still sort of like eyeing this creature, this thing that's there. It is obviously undead, but the fact that it's speaking celestial is a bit of an oddity in this whole thing. I can put the box back. I just need to rest. And Elliot will pipe up there. I can do it actually. I can also stone shape. So, and so she's like kind of standing off to the side, back there.
Where I dragged her.
Yeah, you pulled her back out of the room exactly.
Because I had that vision right before it happened. And then as soon as you said there's like black smoke swirling, I was just like, yoink, get her out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The vision of potentially maybe Wraith doing thing. Oh yes, and she also protected from evil and good, exactly. So Sora has cast a spell on there to kind of protect Elia as well. This thing is not making any aggressive actions at the moment. It is just sort of standing in the back corner of the room there, swirling darkness and waiting to see what you guys do.
So I'll ask Alia if she can put it back. Cover it up again.
I can see that back over. Yeah. One second, and she sort of casts this, works the magic there, and the stone sort of ripples and moves there, and the stone kind of fills back in over top of the box there, and she actually goes one step further in that he kind of like smooths it over to the point where it actually looks like the stone around it. And so there isn't a darkened stone there anymore. So she kind of like pauses for a moment there and kind of pauses and kind of invokes Druidcraft and kind of gets in there and kind of changes the color of the stone slightly. So that it's now actually You know it's there. The sigils, Eldon will confirm the sigils on the box are still there. And as the stone starts to seal over there, the presence of Basarloth, the original priestess who sealed this thing away, it sort of swirls down into the cracks around the stone there and settles into the space as the stone seals back over again. Well, that was. I am glad that is over with. I do not want to see something like that again. The fact that it was able to be here is very interesting, though. Normally,
Let's
undead
hope
have a very
nobody else
difficult
tries to
time in this
uncover it.
place.
Let's hope nobody else tries to uncover it.
Well, they might be in for a rude awakening. If they do.
I think we need to get a guard on the temple anyway. No matter what.
Eldon will speak up there, saying, "Yes, I do plan to leave at least one of the automatons that we recovered from Invarnek's tower there as a extra precaution. Potentially the iron statue, since it doesn't need very much mobility, I can just bring it in as is, and then we can have our armored suits at the house then." And so, one thing to remind you guys of, that morning, you were notified. Welby, the mayor's assistant, did come by saying he would like you to come by the town hall for kind of a debriefing and check in with the folks in charge here to kind of get an idea of what's going on, because obviously the warnings have been sent and some people have been things have been set in motion, so they kind of want to see a little bit of what's happening so they know what to prepare for. I'll leave that up to you when you want to do that.
Well, I think we're probably free now, aren't we?
Yeah.
A little thing to remind you of, if you guys have forgotten this, I'm sure you haven't, but you did have a little conversation with an extraplanar being who happens to be speaking inside of Trevor's head. That all took place last session as well, as you guys all got to actually speak with Lucia for the first time.
I'd completely forgotten about that.
Yeah, I figured it slipped your mind or something, but just a little reminder that is a thing as well.
I haven't.
Yes. Trevor, real quick here. Did you put the coin back into the wrist pocket?
No,
in the pocket dimension there? It's still
Lucia said she didn't like it, so I stopped.
Yes. Okay.
I made the agreement that if we have to have a private conversation that she's not to hear, that I would. But yeah.
Okay. She'd agreed to it. Yes. Yeah. All right. And so Strava kind of looks around and, I should probably speak with the mayor as well. I'm not officially on the council or anything, but it may be the situation where I could at least provide information as well. So, if you like, I would accompany you as well there.
Yeah, can do.
Yeah.
Okay. So the group of you, along with Elia and Strava, head on over to the town hall, leaving the Temple of Rest, heading out into the town square and towards the town hall being right here.
We're not leaving it unattended, though, are we?
What's that?
The temple, we're not leaving it unattended.
Actually, so what Strava will do, she will essentially their second in command there, the acolyte, will be there. She'll also send her son off to go grab some people from the city guard. So he'll kind of run off there to grab some guard members. There is a guard station right here at 8, so right up here in the corner up here. So he'll just run up there and just alert a couple of guard members to send some folks down there just to be have a presence in the area. Okay. Right. So we'll move you guys over to the town square here. Again, the town hall being the building across the way here. You're able to kind of move along. We'll go ahead and make sure we have one thing real fast. We'll bring Strava along with you. As you approach the town square, you will see actually Riley will show up. Elia's sister will kind of join you, saying, "Good. about to report in too. You guys are all heading the same place, I take it, right?
Looks like.
Okay. And so you're issued in there into the main there. Welby is sitting at his desk outside there. And well, I will tell the mayor that you're here for the meeting, and I hopefully that will be everything we need to get things going. Just a moment, please. I'll make sure everything's ready. And so he kind of ducks into the big double doors, out, inside the entry hall there, and you guys. After a moment or so, he steps in. They're all there to see you now. We should be all good to go. And you step into the large town hall, and it's arranged a little bit different than before. And you actually see more people here than you normally do. You'll actually see 4 people sitting at the large table. So you'll see obviously the mayor here, Duncorn, the captain of the guard, as you knew him there, Danis Fairwood, Elia and Riley's father, who also runs the lumber yard, the most profitable thing there, and of course Nimbus, the Manatech expert. And the mayor sits up there and, very good. Thank you for coming in. We were just discussing matters here and getting things all in presence, all present and accounted for, and making sure we have our plans in place. Things are a little bit different in the city now. That's since you've been here last. Let me make quick introductions there. You may know. I'm sure you know everyone here. And as he's talking there, Welby will kind of like duck around the side of the room there and kind of sit down at a little writing table and pull out a little journal, like he's going to be taking minutes for the meeting. Since we are now officially a city under our new charter, we are operating more as a council of sorts now. And we have Master Duncorn is now Minister of Defense. He will be looking at the city's defenses, the town guard, recruitment and training and such, making sure that the city's defenses are all intact and we are prepared for any eventualities. And he kind of just nods. Right. He kind of nods to each of you and kind of gives Sora a little bit more meaningful nod there as you guys have been training off and on for a while back there, and kind of gives you a little more of a respectful nod as opposed to everyone else. He just kind of gives a cursory like, "Good to see you." Yes. Master Fairwood here. Of course, you know that you know him. He is he is now acting as our Minister of Finance, overseeing the town's coffers and making sure that business opportunities and such and construction attempts around the town there are all sort of financed and funded through his operations. And he sort of just his typical kind of gruff features there. He gives a bit of a little more, cracks a little more of a smile. He's looking at his 2 daughters over here, and actually at you as well, Amethyst. He just sort of like just a little turn up, a little turn up of the smile there. Not exactly like a broad smile, but enough that you can kind of like get there. And of course, Nimbus here is our Minister of Innovation. As he's been brought on is under contract to develop various things for our citizens and our houses and such. With the new defenses in place there, he's been actually invaluable in creating new and exciting ways for our troops to keep security and for our city to be much more much more advanced than other places in the region. Thank you very much. It's good to see you as always. And he kind of gives a little more of a good to see you as well, cousin. Good to see that you're all in good health and everything. I appreciate all of the information you've given us and things that you've sent along the way. It's been very, very helpful toward our endeavors here, making sure the city's well defended and we are moving towards a glorious, bright future. And he sort of like looks at the mayor as he says that, and the mayor nods very, very, very jovially. Amethyst, as you do ask that, he sort of like you see him kind of blink for a second there, and um, uh, and in your head he responds, of course, everyone here is very much in confidence, and I would hope there's no and then remembering there was a time that um, that surveillance had been used way back. If you'll remember, there was a time that someone had been spying on this meeting. So if you want to take any efforts to check for anything,
I will
feel free.
definitely use see invisibility. I was also going to ask Sora just to check there's no evil in the room.
Okay.
Sure.
Apart from Trevor.
Divine sense.
You want
Okay.
divine sense? Okay.
You don't catch any sense of celestial fey fiend other than the weird little. Actually, you don't actually detect Lucia from this either because she's not manifested in any way. So there actually is no celestial fiend fey presence that you can see. So I think and see invisibility. You look around the room. You don't see any scrying sensors or anything else. No. Actually, give me a perception check to see if there's anything. Yeah, so, and let's give me that that's perception check there. Nice. Okay.
It took ages. It took ages to.
Yeah, it took a while there.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
you scan the room very carefully there, and you kind of like draw your gaze up through the rafters and everything else. Because remember, there was an invisible familiar hanging up in the rafters, listening in at one point that you realized. And you're certain after a moment or two that there was no devices, no things listening in, no invisible sensors or anything else like that. So
Okay.
you feel very confident in your surveillance attempt, your perceptive thing here. Also, there's no sort of warning or anything else, no tingle from the blade either.
That's good. I was going to check that next.
So, all right. So basically, the group is kind of here waiting, mostly on you to kind of. What is it that's been going on? I mean, I know we've had a little bit of warnings and little messages being sent back and forth, and he kind of nods over toward Elia. That's so. We've had we've put the gates on much more of a strict protocol for allowing visitors in or out, and for the most recently, no one's been coming and going. So we want to make sure that that does not continue, because obviously we want to have trade and people coming and going. The city's lifeblood is our trade routes. So please, what's been happening?
Does anybody else want to do it before I start?
I would say if you want to just sort of like give the general things that you tell them, you don't need to go into detail, but just let me know, like, is there anything you specifically leave out?
As long as we can trust people in the room, I think it's important that these people know about the skull, and it's that it's in the, not specifically where in the temple, but that it's in the temple, and that's what we think maybe they're going to be coming for next, and the intention to bring back the Dark King, and that we've tracked down the necromancer who's then escaped from where he was being held, and everything else. So yeah, just
varying bits of alarm, of course, hearing about the Dark King and this thing. Duncorn's the one who kind of speaks up the most. You're kind of asking some follow-up questions there in terms of like, what sort of forces do they have bringing into place out here? Is it mostly magical? Do they have any sort of hordes of undead? I mean, I've heard of this Dark King. It's before my time, but my father and my grandfather served in some of the fighting in the attempts to push back the Dark King's forces. So it's very. I know I've heard of the stories. So, what sort of things are we looking at here?
Well, we know that we definitely need to fill them in about Wraith as well, don't we? That Wraith and the Necromancer and the Vampire are looking into bringing him back. But you know, when he was around, he was very, very powerful and could raise hordes and hordes, and also had the ability to have devils and demons working for him and everything else, binding them to him and stuff. So it's all very end of the world, really.
Well, isn't the mayor a descendant of one of the paladins who was a part of the group that was sent to kill the Black Knight or Black King?
Seems
No.
that, yes. So go ahead.
They bought the skull. They bought the skull here. One of his descendants,
Yeah.
along with a cleric.
And we're talking to him right now, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
this is
So
Elvis Draymart there. This would have been his like great grandfather probably. You know, I'm not sure how many greats. He's human, so I mean generations are a little bit different for different races.
maybe press him for a little like family stories to see if anything's been passed down.
Oh, I know very little about all of that. It all kind of kept hush hush. We didn't pass down many traditions or traits. I mean, it's fascinating that there was someone that important. I mean, one of the men who killed the Dark King, you say? Oh, I may have heard the name. Was it Cordell? You said. I mentioned that there. But I know nothing. It was so long ago. I know nothing know nothing of him really. But I I well, he kind of looks over at Strava, who's his sister-in-law. Have you heard of anything about this or
Well, I do believe that there is a gravestone of some kind in the cemetery for the Draymark family. There could be something there, but I don't know that there's anything specifically tied to more recent generations. And
Is it
she's just
just?
sort of
Like you say,
go ahead.
Is it just a gravestone or is it a tomb?
Many of the descendants, most people of uh, of Ravenscrest, we tend to cremate the bodies and then inter the ashes at the grave sites themselves. There's less chance of there being any sort of necrotic influence that would potentially make them rise from the dead. It is more in line with the teachings of the Raven Queen. We wish to make sure that the sort of abominations do not happen. And so, there are very few actual bodies buried in the graveyard area. It's mostly interred ashes.
Okay.
So, um, so the talk of there talking about like in terms of Nimbus will kind of start.
Well, we'll need to make sure that there's some sort of radiant type of effect there. If we're dealing with potentially undead, I will work with Mistress Draymark there. If I could work with you on potentially making some ways of having more holy water type things, things that we can have for our ballistas and for our things to be blessed in some way, that would go very, very far in helping to remove the threat of undead, at least, or lessen the threat of undead, if we have those things.
And so she kind of nods and he starts taking furious notes in a journal in front of him of just jotting down ideas and everything else.
We also know that it's goblins that stole the diamond that has the power to resurrect the dead, as we know. And we're worried that if Wraith gets hold of that, which he probably will, because the goblins are working for him most of the time, that he might be able to use that in bringing back the Dark King. So that's why we've suggested to the guards that they are checking wagons and stuff as they're coming into the town. We're not saying don't let people in. We're just saying if they're coming in big vehicles and stuff, to just check them over and make sure there's no goblins stowing away anywhere, so that, just make everywhere a bit safer.
And Riley will pipe up that time there, just saying, yes, I'm making sure that the guards are much more aware of what's coming and going there. We already keep track of in our logs at the gates of who comes and goes, but we're also going to make sure that they check the wagons. We don't want to tear everything apart, but at least give it a good look once over to make sure there's nothing obvious. And if there's any passengers in a wagon, we need to know.
Yeah.
So,
and also, I think because of the sensitive nature, if you just tell the guards that it's just because there's been robberies and stuff in the area from the temple, and don't actually go into detail, because I think the fewer people that know about the skull and its location and everything else, the better.
And yeah, at that point, it's like Elvis actually will just of course, we'll make sure that that does not leave this room. That is not general knowledge for the populace. They don't need to know what's that there's any sort of dark presence here, and it seems to be well contained, at least, based on the fact that it's been here for so long and no one even knew about it. So hopefully that will continue to be the case. And Danis will actually pipe up there. This is another report here we have of goblins in the region. We put it down to maybe these little trolling things. Some of those sightings may have been them, but now with actual goblin sightings, we may have to give a little more credence to reports of goblin activity in the area. And he looks over at Duncorn and see, I know. We have to make sure that we keep all of the reports in line. Right, of course. Good. And so the four of them sort of have. I mean, well, the three on the right there has sort of a definitely settling into a more of a cooperative nature, at least. Nimbus is sort of just furiously scribbling on his own here, but so he's obviously paying attention, but he's not really joining in the conversation as much until he's asked to. So you kind of see the group here. So is there anything else here? You arrived on an airship. This was quite exciting, of course. Was there anything, any other things in the region we need to be aware of?
We should probably fill them in about the snake situation.
Yeah.
And that's where we're heading next, and then hopefully we'll be able to go and see if we can find our friend Ray.
All right then. Let's see here. So, and Danis will pop up in there, and again, just so Silverleaf, we don't have a lot of specific trade with them, but they do have resources, and oftentimes we could set up trade with them if they're intact. So we really should help our smaller communities in the area if we want to bring in more opportunities and such. And you see him. Amethyst and Lucas, you see him sort of there's a bit of a nervous energy about him in talking about this. And he doesn't say anything more than that at first there, but the mayor puts in, well, understand here. I actually wanted to speak with the captain of the airship there. Potentially, are you thinking of using their services to transport yourselves, or what is the plan for the wondrous vessel?
I think we were going to ask, weren't we, if they could take us, but have you got something in mind?
Well, no. It just seems to be very fortuitous. Welby, and he kind of looks over at the halfling there in the corner. Did you send up the missive to the captain of the airship there? Is he? He said he would be here. And he kind of looks down at a timepiece he has there. Soon, actually. He might be here soon, so I can go check and see if he's available. Or if he's if he's here yet. Please do. And so Welby kind of scurries out of the room there and goes out there. We were going to talk we had planned to essentially ask the airship that they're heading back to Port Oris that if they could take some of our people over there as part of a trip. Looking to get some recruiting some new troops potentially, and maybe securing some trade contracts and anything else we can secure for the spring and summer months coming up here. So we'd actually planned to speak with them anyway. And kind of waits for a moment there as you guys all kind of look around at each other and
whisper to each other.
Okay. So let's see. Okay, just seeing. So discussing. Yes. Okay. So you're able to kind of talk a little bit there, and after a moment, Welby will return, and actually Captain Enthos will be there with him, along with his wife, who's there, the navigator of the ship as well. Sir, the captain is here. Is it okay to bring them in and discuss preparations or whatever? Of course. Bring them in, please. And so, thank you, Captain, for coming here. I believe you know everyone, well, most everyone here at this point. And he kind of introduces, obviously, the ministers, Riley and Elia and Strava, who are all here. And he starts to introduce all of you, and he kind of puts up a hand. I know them very well. We traveled here together, and that they are very good people to know. What is it I can do for you? I was told there might be a job opportunity for us. So, what is it you wish of us? And so, I believe, well, I'll let the city business can wait here. It seems yours is more pressing, and he kind of motions to you about talking to the captain at this point.
Yes, we were wondering whether you could go back to Port Oris via Silverleaf and just drop us off there.
Silverleaf, yes, I know this place to the north. It's about 5 days flight. He kind of looks at his wife, the navigator there, and when he says 5 days, yes, it's 5 days, and so she gives him a little nod as he says this, and this would be fine. I would have to secure a contract of some kind. Obviously, our contract was to bring you here, and so at that point, Dennis just pipes up, just puts up a hand to whatever they need, I'll pay for it. Whatever transport they need, I will take care of that.
That's very kind, thank you.
There is one request I might have, though. I would like to accompany you on the trip on the ship. And he sort of leans forward, and there's a little bit of that eagerness that you saw before is kind of there. I don't want to interfere with your mission, of course. There, I just want a chance to go on the ship here.
All right, so you're not coming to hell.
No,
well, I'm
no.
not really a combatant of any kind. I'm a businessman, but the wood from our groves helped make that ship, and I want to see it in action. And I mean, and he kind of looks over at the mayor, like, I do still want to see if we can secure a ship of our own to use. So this would be good to see the capabilities and the sort of cost and operation of such a vessel. I mean, I've ridden on them before, but I want to make sure that something that we could eventually do in the future.
As long as you're aware of the dangers involved. I mean, we've just had basically fire blasting us out of the sky on the last trip that we made. So, you know, it's all very well saying you can drop us off at Silverleaf and go to Port Oris, but if anything happens in the meantime, we have encountered, was that Drake's that we encountered before, and all sorts of nasty things. So
also, if I may, as long as there's no piffs of anyone, I certainly don't mind you coming along, but you need to realize, I know you're proprieting this the vessel of ours this time and taking care of the funds and the costs, but you do know that you are not in charge of any of us, correct?
Oh, of course not. I mean, this is just a trip to see the ship in operation. I have nothing to do with your mission of any kind.
No, of course.
Um, um,
This. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I would only be observing the ship in action there and potentially bringing people with us over to Port Oris. After if that's after the case there, if the captain's willing, we could actually have him come back here, pick up, and make the exchange of any kind of personnel we want to do, and then head over to Port Oris that way. You can reprovision and such here after making the trip. And the captain's like, I think we can do that. That would be that might be best if we make the trip there and back again, and then over to Port Oris from there. So uh, um, I can work out the I will speak with my our logistics people and get um the price worked out for you. But yes, I would not mind having a passenger as one of your esteemed here. In terms of the transport, I would not be making if there's any sort of casters of any kind or dangerous things.
Now, I will say, you just be careful when the shit hits the proverbial fan.
Well, it will hopefully not hit the fan while we are still standing on it. As I said, we will drop you off a distance away from the actual village itself, and you can make your way in on foot.
I was just talking about if anything was to happen during the flight itself, but
Well, that is always the case. We always have to worry about that any kind of trip we make because there's things in the forest and such that those types of risks are always a concern. We will do what we can, of course, to alleviate those and prevent them, but obviously we make many trips without uh, with dealing with those kinds of situations.
Yeah, but you're traveling with us on board, so.
Right. There is that.
This is why we'll be dropping you off a little farther away, so we're not going to get in the middle of what you're dealing with.
Yeah, good idea.
And but yes, and then another voice pipes up there. I'm coming too. And you glance over, and Elia
Okay.
is like, if my father's going, I'm going. I'm not making. He's not going to go by himself here. But two, you just got back, and well, and just clarify something for the emphasis there. You told Elia about the vision that you'd had recently.
I told her about the vision, and I told her I wasn't going to let her out of my sight, and that she would have to come with us. So, yeah, that works out.
Then we're agreed. Okay. All right. And so, with that, you secured travel. You secured a chance to go and do this. You let them know the situation. The council of Ravenscrest, the situation, and so with that, you guys can go make preparations and decide when you want to take off, specifically.
As soon as possible, I think.
Okay.
I want to have a word with the council, just the council.
Of course. So by yourself or with everyone, or what's the plan there?
If anyone wants to stay, well, with Eldon as well, but anyone else wants to stay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, Eldon is with you at this point. There, we'll assume he's there too. He's just sort of, we'll assume he's had his nose in his book for the most part there, and talked a little bit. And as you're kind of like trailing off and deciding what to do there, Eldon kind of steps over to Nimbus. They start talking about things kind of quietly and in gnomish, and a little bit rapid fire back and forth of things that go way over your heads if you do listen. And Strava will excuse herself, say, "I will head back to the temple, make sure that everything is prepared, and we'll work on securing more defenses and ways of safeguards for the temple itself."
Thank you.
Of course.
I'll wait for the captain to leave and the rest.
Okay, so I'll go and get the preparations made and make sure that everything is in place and get the crew ready to go. At least make sure that they know that we'll be traveling again soon, and just say the word. We'll be on our way.
Where's Seb at this point?
Back at the house. He can come with you guys. He's not with you guys. Riley will leave as well. Head back out there to get in the guard, issuing the orders there. She says that she will not be telling the guard what's going on here, just that be more vigilant and kind of keep people more on alert, essentially. Okay, so it's just the folks here on the screen, along with you guys.
Yeah, it's really to the mayor and Eldon and Nimbus. Talking about the city status. But we have the core of a teleportation circle we brought back from the tower.
And Eldon, of course, I almost forgot about that. Yes, we must get that installed here. Nimbus, is that something that you can at least get prepped and put in place for us? Nimbus is, I think so. I've never really dealt with a full size conjuration core. I would love to look. I would love to look at it. Absolutely. If you're willing, I will come over to the house and see what you want to do with that, and maybe get preparations underway. Of course, yes. And so, yeah, that's something that you guys can kind of get prepped.
I would
as well.
kind of give Lucas some, like, I'd start venturing, like, not away, but like, but I would message, talk to Eldon. Did you give Seb that list of tasks for him to be doing while you were away? The things
sure.
you didn't have time for.
Yes, of course. Mostly just we're installing some mushrooms and such in the grove underneath the house there, maybe getting some alchemical preparations in place, and potentially also let's see, cataloging our tools, upgrading everything that he can. And he's sort of listing off a number of tasks.
I would kind of like politely cut him off at that point and be like, the alarms that you made are still set in place, correct?
Oh, those alarms had to be set every day. They're not they're just a temporary measure, usually for overnight or anything else like that. But we could put other more permanent countermeasures in place there, and of course we'll have the automatons, the animated armor suits as guards as well.
And so make sure that he's safe while we're gone.
Oh, I'm sure everything will be just fine, of course.
I think we should probably get a message to Nils and see if there's anything he can put in place, if he minds coming to the town. If he's not too busy.
You want to do ascending?
Yeah.
Okay. So you go ahead and use the slot for that one there, and just what message specifically sending his way? I'll give you a minute to think about it here, as you guys are kind of.
Yeah.
So we'll just kind of convene back to the house, and
Jim, sorry,
yeah.
I was going to ask you that.
Oh yeah, of course. One more thing.
Where was the group thinking of putting the teleportation circle? Because I know it's ours technically, but because this is now going to be a city, it would probably be better somewhere more like the town hall or something.
Maybe not the town hall. That's probably not a good idea. But if it's ours, are we talking about like letting other people use it too, or just us?
Well, if it's for the city.
Okay, then I would think somewhere outside of the town, because if it's right outside the town, they still need to come in through the gates.
Well, understand, no one can use this is Nimbus speaks up there, no one can use a teleportation circle unless they actually have the glyphs memorized for using the security measures there. You have to know the circle to transport to. So it's not a matter that anyone can use it whenever they want. They have to actually know the circle they're teleporting to before they can use it. So it becomes a way you can teleport out to places that you know of. If you happen to know the coordinates and passcodes and glyphs and such to access the teleportation circles, you can use the circle to go someplace else, but only someone who knows your location, your specific glyphs, and even your security phrases and such can use it specifically. That's all in the setup. So we could install it. So are you suggesting potentially installing it somewhere
within the city walls, outside the city walls, in your home? Which is it you're thinking of?
That's going to be for us, and we don't plan on giving out the glyphs. Then we should put it in our house.
Well, I mean, over time, Sawyer, there will be others that I imagine, that we would want them to be able to use it. We don't necessarily want them popping off near the house at any given time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking. It's now going to be a city.
More
You're gonna
people
have
are
people
going to be
coming,
needing
yeah.
to use that in the city, especially if we have an emergency.
Is there a building that isn't being used that we could stick it in and
I
then
mean,
fix it up or build a building that we could put it in?
Oh, yeah. So Danis will pop up there and keep saying that. Danis will speak up. I think we could have something built if there's something currently that would fit that specific use, but we could have something built if you want to have sort of a transport hub of some kind. I mean, I've heard of these things in use, but that would be something that we could have put in place.
I think if we
And
could
then-
find a way of getting back here immediately, that would be great.
Right. And then I'll probably turn to Dirkhorn and be like, we probably should get somebody in that building inside and outside to defend it in case people who shouldn't be using it end up using it.
Well, again, that's not really a possibility unless someone has learned the access codes and things from the people who set it up. I mean, specifically, if you set it up, you can set your own access codes, and only someone who's been given that can access it. So it's not something that just like use whenever they feel like.
But if they've got a person who can charm someone into believing that they're a friend, they could charm them into using the access their codes to give them access. So,
Yes, of course, someone
Yeah.
could coerce someone into
Mhm.
allowing them to access. Yes, this is a possibility. Yes, of course.
I
Right.
myself went to attack a party member, poor Sora. Thankfully, I was stopped by Lucas, and that didn't happen. But I almost attacked her because I was under the charm spell of a vampire. So, you know,
Yes, of course.
gotta
That could
consider
be
everything.
coercion. Okay, understandable. Yes, I can see what you mean. So essentially, yes, we want to make sure that it is well guarded. Maybe not in your home. Let's and he looks at the other councilman. Let us determine a location for this. And if you're ready, then we can go ahead and at least get something in place and then start construction post haste to get something set up here. Um, I'll have to look at the condition of the core itself there, and unfortunately, I can't. I can't craft the necessary pieces to it. I can help it get it installed, but I don't have the arcane knowledge to be able to put it in place, to be able to essentially set the circle in place, just to help it install the core itself.
I've sent a message to Nils Pretzel in Port Taurus, hoping that he'll come and help at least. So
that would be. This is quite. Yes, that would be. Well, if he agrees, that would be.
And about this time, we'll go ahead and Amethyst. Good to hear from you. I think that I can probably get away. How soon are we talking about here? I can. Um, Armageddon. Let me make some arrangements. And he kind of cuts off there for a moment there. About a minute or so as you guys are kind of talking there. Is there anything else you want to ask the council here, or you want to kind of break up and figure out?
Okay.
we probably need to prepare for further travel.
Okay.
Next adventure.
If we're going to prepare, I'm probably going to go train.
Okay.
Okay, so as you're kind of discussing things, kind of getting ideas there, you haven't quite broken up yet. There, we're gonna have a little.
Are we leaving today? We're leaving today, aren't we?
You did say as soon as possible, Amethyst.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
So you'll notice, I want to go ahead and take a look at our overlay here, there, and you'll notice something a little different.
Oh, hello.
So, taking the place of Elia for today will be our very own producer here. Thank you.
Look at
We're
Bernie.
gonna. So yeah. Thank you for jumping in here. Since we don't have an Eldon today, we're gonna have an Elia instead. There, same.
What?
So you guys are kind of getting ready to mill out of the area there, and so we can kind of cut to what some preparations you're going to make, some things you're planning on doing, and you let me know how soon you want to take off. Just a quick reminder, as you guys are getting ready to do some different things on your own here. It is 11 days until the spring equinox, when Brevalor said that that's likely when things would be happening in Silverleaf. That if something's going to happen, it would be happening around then. With the airship, potentially you have it'll take 5 days to fly there. So you guys can definitely get any kind of preparations you need made between now and then, and keep in mind you have that 5 days of travel ahead of you.
All right, so we need to get going. I have a few days that we don't want to take the chance of any hookups because we might have to make an unexpected stop.
We'll go ahead and move you guys out to the map, back to this town map here, and kind of get some ideas. So essentially, within the next day or so, you're probably going to get, if you do take a day or two to prep and get things ready here, Eldon can make sure the automatons are working. You will, Amethyst, about a couple of minutes after you guys leave that room, leave the town hall here, you'll get a message back from Nils. Secured travel. I can make it there in not very long. If you're not there when I get there, leave messages with Nimbus what it is y'all need, and I'll make sure that we got things set up in place. All right.
Thank you, Nils. I think we might be gone when you arrive. Hopefully not for long. I'm sure Nimbus can fill you in.
Okay. So essentially, Lucas, since you kind of suggested it there, and Nimbus, and eventually, and Danis kind of getting an idea, where on the map would you think a good spot for that teleportation circle be?
Somewhere probably on the outskirts, possibly.
We'll just ping a
North,
spot on the map there. What do you think?
maybe here.
Okay.
Yeah, isn't there?
Anyone else?
What is number one again?
One is actually a smokehouse. It's actually where they smoke a lot of meats, and so where the hunters kind of bring in any kind of game they've taken out, they killed, or and they'll skin and dress the meats there. And so that's actually a very large smokehouse where pretty much all the meat for the town is processed. Is processed.
And where did they want to put the warehouse?
Kind of up in around this kind of tree area up in here. This is going to be kind of the warehouse district where the caravans would come in. They're planning a road along the inside of the wall here, another secondary road heading up around this tree area here.
I know that
Maybe
the caravans
put it
went
over there,
everywhere.
over in the warehouse area. Yeah, over there.
There's gonna be a lot of traffic in that area.
I was going to say it's probably better out of the way, really.
The whole point of it was eventually people are going to be using it outside of us, right? So, like, why wouldn't we put it where people are going to want to be in the first place?
Put it in the middle of the town square then.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
What is 49?
49. That is sort of the fairgrounds, the kind of open space where they kind of festival grounds in a way. It's also where some of the town guard will do training a lot of time, running drills and doing like little melee skirmishes and stuff like that. But it is a wide open space. So essentially, what will happen is the core itself is about maybe 2 feet across, kind of bronze and copper disc essentially that forms the core of a teleportation circle, and then sigils and permanent sigils and things will be placed around it to kind of form the actual teleportation circle itself. Normally, that core would take like a year to enchant. So the circle can be done in a matter of days for the most part there once it's in place. But the core would normally take about a year. So this is going to basically allow them to just do in a couple of days, set up this circle, ready to essentially make it ready to go. Especially with Nils coming by to help.
Yes. Awesome. I will let them know that Nils is coming as well.
Yeah,
I guess really,
Nimbus will immediately start. I'll get in touch with him and let them know what's going on there. We'll set up some projects for him to help out with, and we'll work out any compensation that needs to be done, and just kind of rattling things off there.
Yeah.
Not in that shotgun, stammering way that Eldon does. His is very like laser focused, like one thing after another, just boom, 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 boom.
I think really it's probably up to the mayor where he thinks, or at least the council, where they think the teleportation circle needs to be, because it's their town.
I mean, the other option is you want to put it in the front room of your house too, and just make it more for personal use. It's up to you. It can always be moved. That is one thing about this understanding here. It can be moved and made something done later on.
Okay,
And
so
the core can be shifted around to different places. That's what you did. You kind of picked it up from the tower, and now you're bringing it here.
Why don't we put it in the front area of our house for now, and then when we're ready to open it up for more public use, we'll move it.
That makes a lot of sense. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll kind of just bring you over to here. So essentially, do you want it like in the middle of the entryway, or want it off to the side, maybe out on the patio? What do you think?
Patio sounds good,
patio,
doesn't it?
yeah. That sounds
Patio?
perfect.
Okay.
Or the basement.
No, not the basement. Eldon might blow it up.
Okay.
Not the basement.
Nimbus essentially will say,
That's very good. That way, if there's any sort of traffic coming and going, they don't are immediately into your house, but they have access at least to the entryways and be able to get in that way. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and plan to place it in the center of the patio area, and Nimbus will kind of get that in place. At that point, so that's something in place there. What else do we have to prep? Or are we going to move ahead to our travels?
Check on Seb real quick. Make sure he's prepped for everything Eldon has a list for. Tell him to not sleep in the guest room, to sleep down there in the workshop, which I'm sure he's going to be spending most of the time anyway. Also, check his firearm, make sure it's all that. I mean, I know he knows what he's doing, but just to be a little bit of an overprotective little brother, if that makes any sense.
Okay. One thing he'll say,
if he's going to be living here, that guest room is now his room because he'll be living here.
Yeah. Well, for the time being, we don't know what he wants to do. So, but for now, he's a permanent resident, or he's definitely a resident of the house. But
you'll actually
down there for security reasons, as opposed to that, not because that's his new place.
You will learn actually that his firearm isn't actually a gun; it's a focus. He uses the firebolt cantrip and fires it out of this what looks like a gun. It's a fancy wand that he uses the firebolt cantrip. So it's his arcane focus essentially for artifice. So
Gotcha. So I'll look at him like, are you prepared to do this? You're kind of the man of the house while I'm gone.
I think maybe Reese would be the one. Reese and Catherine are hard in charge here, from what I can tell.
Oh,
So,
they absolutely are. But I just meant,
I mean,
you
no,
know,
no, no.
I want
I
you to feel more
absolutely
special.
have things under control. It's good to be back with the workshop again. I appreciate the opportunity, and frankly, after so long traveling on the road, it's good to have a roof over my head again. And
You know, you can stay
um,
here as long as you want. Now, I will say, if shit hits the fan, I think I've said that once today already. Um, just don't be a hero.
I I understand. Don't you worry about that.
All right, we're going to be gone for some time now.
Nope. I will look forward to when you get back, and I thank you all for not
Um,
putting a bullet in me and giving me a chance to do something useful for a change.
Now, that being said, if you're to go out, I'm not saying that you have to stay in this house the whole time we're gone. I don't know how long we're going to be gone. Don't go by yourself. Take somebody from the house. Take Reese somebody. If you need
All right
provisions or
then.
something like that for yourself, personal use. But there should be plenty here for you, though.
All right then. I think I'll manage, Trevor. I think we'll be okay.
The town's pretty safe at the moment. It's probably safer here than most places.
I hope so.
This is true.
And besides, even Seb here can take care of a few goblins if that was the worst case scenario. And I give Seb a little wink, and then yeah.
I certainly hope not. I don't want to tangle with them. They can be kind of scary.
Well, I know I've dealt with them a few times.
Also, if you have any suggestions for any extra security or anything in either the house or the town or the temple, do speak to Nils when he arrives, because he is a fountain of information.
All right then. Look forward to speaking with him. That sounds good to see someone else who knows got a good head on their shoulders. Anything else?
No, let's go.
Okay.
Lucas will check in with Dale because
Okay.
she was teaching him Sylvan, but he was also supposed to be teaching her Celestial. So
Okay.
when we've got spare time, I'll have a talk to her.
Sure. As you're prepping things there, they're definitely willing to talk there. Eldon has kind of secured their services too a little bit for some of the underground and some of the herbalist type things that he wanted to put in place. So Dale, at some point, will kind of check in with both you and Eldon as kind of the underground grotto area that he's planning in the basement area. And some of the you'll notice actually one thing that Elia would have pointed out here, and then Dale's also involved here. On the patio, there are a number of pots set up there with various herbs and plants and stuff being grown in a little set of pots and planter boxes around the patio area. So between Elia and Dale, those are since we're almost to spring now. It's actually those kind of those early plantings are just starting, essentially.
Snowdrops.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely some medicinal and some cooking type herbs and everything else for the most part. What we're kind of looking at there.
Nice.
Okay. So Dale's definitely happy to exchange any kind of back and forth with Sylvan, with you there, Lucas, and able to kind of get things sort of like trading off phrase books almost. Like here's something else in Sylvan, here's something else in Celestial, and you guys kind of trade back and forth that way. You will have learned that Dale speaks about over a dozen languages. So it's the only ones they don't really speak are like a lot of the extra planar languages, so like primordial and celestial and abyssal and infernal. So those are the ones that they never really had an opportunity to speak there. But elven, dwarven, gnomish, halfling, giant, goblin, sylvan, you name it. If it's a more terrestrial based race, they can speak it.
I do need to learn Goblin at some point. I think it might come in handy.
So, anything else then people have specifically want to do before they go?
I just want to remind Elliot that I needed to stay close because that dream or vision, whatever it was, it's got me pretty scared.
I have no intentions on going anywhere but beside you. So
Good. So weird to have a voice.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
That'll be all from me.
Okay. All right. So, between getting provisions for the ship there, the captain will let you know that yes, he's pretty much prepared to take off whenever you're ready. Danis is eager to go as well, and so he's kind of got his stuff there. You guys can get your provisions as well. And if there's anything else, we can cut to travel. Let's see here. Do we have... Sorry, I had something set up here and I'm not seeing it currently, so I think I may have lost it. Yep, we'll just go with our typical little song known as Skyship. We'll kind of go with that, as this is the airship travel time. So, be able to get back on the Sable Drake. Get you guys over to there. Essentially settling back into the rooms that you used before, kind of settling into the various roles that you spent time on the ship itself there. It's obviously the extra accumulators that Eldon had kind of set up with to give the ship a little bit more range as you guys kind of pushed them to get here have all recharged, and he's left them kind of in Greta's eager hands there to be used if needed to get the ship a little bit faster range, a little bit further range before they have to land. And so if there's anything you guys want to last minute things before the airship gets underway.
Does Reese have any rations for us to pick up?
Oh, Reese, whatever provisions you want, and the ship has its own provisions as well, so you can definitely get restocked wherever there. The general
more
store
rations.
there. Yeah, Benzinger's general store has plenty, and they've actually been securing a lot more with more traffic coming and going. Weldon's been definitely setting up more in terms of having more things on hand.
I would have asked
for travelers to use.
Somebody had some, or like one of the before we left. So obviously, to see if someone had like cat food kibble or something like that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Because ferrets eat the same thing, so.
Sure. Yeah. So you find some more like pellet type food for the ferrets there, and I will say that Chesty has sort of developed a very very healthy addiction for jerky.
Yep.
Of all types.
That's pretty much all I feed him. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like every, and it's one of those things that it would basically bug you for food like every 15 minutes until you kind of get him trained to kind of wait like every couple of hours.
Right.
But then he wants a lot more.
Yeah, I always have jerky on me, so.
Okay. All right. So on board the Sable Drake, as we start to head north, we'll kind of switch over to the map real fast before we, as you guys depart. We'll say it's in the morning, and you depart from the newly sort of set up, at least temporary airship landing field south of the city, as the ship takes off and starts to coast out over the trees. You'll be heading up to here. Now, you do know that the ship did whatever it could to haul ass from the Tower of Invarnak getting here in about 2.5 days. So 5 days is a more reasonable pace to get up to Silverleaf up here. Okay. So, yes, the one thing about Chesty that you kind of all would have picked up here is that it speaks telepathically and pretty much always asks for food. Has learned to pretty much only, unless someone else wants to, will only get food from Trevor, unless anyone else starts to hand off food to the little mimic. Yes. And so discussion of languages, and you guys can speak various things, discussing what language lessons you're passing along on the trip for the most part. Anything anyone wants to specifically do on the trip heading north while you're on the ship?
Not really. I'd be up in the crow's nest at this point.
Okay.
Before I went up there. Coda and Poda don't like heights anyway too much.
Within the first day, Danis has gone over almost every inch of the ship, looking at the stem to stern, top to bottom, just literally looking at how things are put together, the condition of the wood, the way the manatech components have been put into the ship, kind of the control mechanisms and everything. Just sort of like, I mean, while he isn't being pesky and underfoot, he is kind of, you do see him looking over everything. And Elia, he is often, you don't often see your father like excited and like smiling, but you definitely see him doing more so on this trip than you have in a while. You guys in general have only seen him smile, a true smile, twice. Once at the Needs Fest, the culminating Needs Fest, when he was running around in a green cloak passing out presents and treats and such to people, kind of acting like Santa Claus. And at Elliot and Amethyst's birthday party, where he was sort of like, again, kind of handing out drinks and making sure everyone was having a good time at least. Oh, this is fascinating. The fact that something that we put together, and he talks Elia there, he's like, something that we put together can make its way into being this. I do hope we can secure one of our own for the city.
That would be good.
That definitely would be good.
Yes, of course. I must go and see how the masts are put into place there. Those are one of the pieces. It's not balsa, so how they actually secure it and make sure that it doesn't offset the weight of the ship and the balance. And so many things to look at here. And he sort of like goes like eagerly off there, and will occasionally be pestering Greta, as she's the one who kind of is the ship's engineer essentially. And pester until eventually Greta kind of pushes him off toward Eldon, who just then starts talking his ear off about how all the manatech components work and how they're there until his eyes kind of glaze over a bit from the overload of knowledge from Eldon.
For about 3 hours.
Roughly, yeah. I mean, essentially it would be multiple sessions as long as he can kind of take it. Yes. So the travel, at least for the first day or so, is definitely uneventful. You kind of pass over some terrain here, and at some point, Elia, you'll kind of look over the side on the would that be left side is port side. You'll kind of see down where, first of all, you can kind of see, just barely see from here, where Addie's cabin, the clearing where Addie's cabin is from the air. You're used to seeing it from the air, as you do fly around most often here, and you actually can make a lot. You can make a lot faster pace than the airship can in your Falcon form. But you definitely see down there the clearing where the cabin is. There, you can't quite see the cabin itself, but at least you sort of recognize landmarks that show you where it is. You do see also pass over the various logging areas. that have been marked out where the logging operations will begin. The actual balsa groves you can kind of see from the air, although you only see them because you know where they are, because they are kind of tucked away. They're not you can see the actual like trees from the air, but the groves are kind of tucked in amongst other trees so they can't be spotted. And after a day or so, you start to moving into more unfamiliar territory. Elia's definitely traveled about a full day's travel north, maybe 2 days or so north, but doesn't travel too far in this direction typically. So you're all sort of getting off into unknown territory along the route here.
What could possibly go wrong?
Exactly.
Second day of travel, you do see that the ground below you is definitely becoming less and less snowy. There's definitely more of the snow has melted at this point. There's a light drizzle at some point that kind of makes it a little bit miserable. Most people end up going below decks if they don't have to be out on the deck at least, unless you like getting wet. You eventually start getting into a little bit more of a hilly region. Danis actually will at some point, to who's ever on the deck there, kind of point off that the northern logging trail, the logging route there, does branch off to the west as sort of a road heads out toward the coastal cities of Northport and the village of Bilgewater. Sort of right about on the third day's travel, that's where that branch off happens, right around this point in the map.
I think Bilgewater is going to be the next port of call after this. Silver Pines, Silver, something.
Silverleaf.
Silverleaf.
Sorry, Silver Pines is Fable, isn't it? Sorry, didn't mean that.
Okay. So on the somewhere into the fourth day of travel, the weather does take another turn. The rain starts coming down a lot harder. It's a somewhat warmish spring rain. Okay. And at some point, one sec here. One thing here. Okay. So once I get that little response there. As the rain starts to come down there again, any crew members on deck there have pulled up actual kind of oilskin, like almost like poncho type things there to keep the rain off of them, for the most part. The one person that doesn't seem bothered by it at all is the navigator, Anthos' wife. She just seems to be enjoying the weather no matter what it is, and she's almost always up on deck. Her hair getting a little bit more like wet and down around her shoulders, as opposed to the kind of the fluffy white cloud it normally is around her head. But she seems to enjoy the weather regardless, and so she's up on deck there, keeping tabs on things and watching their course. That'll be a Soleo. The terrain below becomes much more hilly and rocky as you get into it's still forested hills and such, but the ground is rising and falling more into hills and rock outcroppings and things as you move up into the northern sections in here. And you have on your last day of travel before you guys reach the area around Silverleaf. Okay. So, Sora, you have a couple of sendings you're doing along the way here. Go ahead and...
Dude, I'll type it out and then say it. So keep going if you want.
Sure. So on by this 5th day of travel, Danis is sort of kind of, especially with the rain and everything else, that he kind of set himself down below decks there, kind of in the galley area, and he's actually pulling out some ledgers and journal type things of that and taking notes on various things to kind of see what it is. Is it kind of getting ideas for usage and so that's where you kind of you'll spot him down there in the galley, and he's even somehow or other managed to like get in the good graces of Galley Joe, the weird pot-bellied gangly elf who runs the kitchen, and the guy just keeps like every time Danis's coffee or tea or whatever he's drinking at the time is empty, the man's there handing him another one. He's just like, "Thank you very much," and for some reason, that the kind of obnoxious tyrant of the galley area seems to have taken a liking to Danis at least. And so you kind of see that as an option there. As Amethyst, at some point, about somewhere in the 3rd days of travel there, you'll get a message that Nils has arrived, and is working with Nimbus to taking care of a couple of projects at least. Doesn't see anything super difficult, as in there's the town seems to be in good hands. Things are coming along nicely. I'm just going to help set this circle here in the region there. Nimbus can't quite do that himself, but should be able to get the sigils and such in place there, so it should work. I don't know that you'll be able to use it just yet, as we'll need to have it attuned to who's ever going to potentially use it in the future, but at least it'll be in place for you when you do want to.
Thank you very much, Nils. You're a star.
Sora, your first sending there, you do hear the voice come back to you. Fairly quickly, at least. A little bit less distracted and despondent than the first time you talked to him.
Good.
I am with my family at home. I would stay here. You shouldn't come. Not now. I'm eager to hear more. And that's the message you get there. Your second sending, we'll say that was on the one to Strelix was on the first day, since you had the time there. So Bellatrix will be the second day.
Yep.
Things are fine. I may be able to, depending on who it is and what and and what they do. Tell me more when you can.
I know 25 words is hard, right?
Yeah, and I know I didn't hit it exactly there, but close.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. They aren't like Eldon with getting cut off mid-sentence. So.
I did 24 on mine. I was so proud.
Nice.
21 on both of mine, yeah.
Nice.
The last one I'm going to do is to my grandmother, Nanny,
Sure.
or
Yep.
Tondra, and let her know that the city is ready for the warehouse. If there's anything she needs me to do, I have stepped away from the city for the time. Let me know when she needs me. They think that was close.
Sure. Things are in place. Doldrus is handing the contracts and such. I believe we will be able to begin construction somewhere in the spring. Look forward to seeing you at some point.
Queens.
Okay. And I think we'll be pretty close to caught up at that point. Does anyone else wants to send messages or speak with anyone or check in with anybody? Now would be the time to do it.
We can still check in with Alendra just to say that we're, everything's fine, we're all okay, etc.
There's basically good to hear. There's things seem to be calm here at in the city for now. Stay safe and see you soon, kind of thing. Okay. So on the 5th day, we'll say it's probably around late afternoon. You start getting in a position there, and the rain has let up. It's still kind of an overcast. Day, and you arrive. Let me pull up my calendar so I know what I'm talking about. You will be arriving. You are actually looking at, I believe it'd be moon. So it is. Hold on here. You left 2, 3, 4, 5. The 2nd of Growfest. Now it is Moon Day, and you do know that the equinox is on Star Day. So basically, at the end of this week. So you are looking at arriving in the late afternoon of Monday, essentially, and it is Saturday that the equinox is taking place. So you have a few days extra. If you're looking at the calendar, you can see where things are there. But the ship does start to descend. You don't see the village. Those of you, Trevor, I would say you up in the crow's nest, and we'll say if it's late afternoon there, it would be Jameer. He's kind of the afternoon evening watch in the crow's nest there. So Jameer, the younger of the brothers, will kind of point off to where a clearing is, and I'm willing to bet that the village is somewhere over there in the parting of the trees and such. And while you can't see any buildings exactly through the trees, he does kind of point out in a direction there where you likely see some parting in the trees and everything else of the area. A little more flat terrain as well. So you can kind of see at least about where the location is there. It seems to be maybe about 2 to 3 miles off. At this point there, the ship is coming down there, finding a place to set down in a clearing and large enough for the ship to actually not smash into trees and rocks and everything else. So the navigator does an expert job of placing the ship on the ground, and you're able to get unloaded. Danis bids you all farewell and thank you for the trip. Looks at you, Elia, and says, "You stay safe."
I will, Dad. Love you.
She will.
Love you as well, dear. And exactly. And he kind of looks over at you, Amethyst, there, and kind of gives you that stern look of like, you better keep her safe.
Don't worry, Dad.
He kind of like pauses for a moment and, all right then. And he essentially waits on deck there until you guys kind of get all your things off there and are on the ground. So you have the afternoon. The sun is still fairly high in the sky there. It's probably around 3 o'clock at this point, maybe 4 o'clock there. So it's a few hours till sundown. And Stella Solara, the navigator, will kind of point off, saying, "If you go that direction, at least you should be able to find a trail of some kind in that way." And I did take note of a road, a trail of some kind, a few hundred yards to that direction. And she kind of points out off the direction of the trees there, and you kind of follow where she is there. Elia, you are in familiar terrain at this point. It is still very forested. As I said, there's some hills and stuff, but the trees are fairly thick, the shrubbery. It's not too different from where you are. There's a little bit more, somewhat more alpine, or sort of like pine trees and stuff like that instead of deciduous, but even those deciduous trees are starting to get leaves on them again, and some of the shrubs are coming back to life as it is. You are actually officially in the spring now. The first day of spring was yesterday.
We love the spring.
Okay. Yes. The ground is kind of soft and spongy and wet as the snow has mostly melted. There's still kind of little patches clinging into some of the shadowy areas underneath the trees. But as I said, the shrubs are coming to life then. Some blooms are showing up. The trees are getting starting to get their leaves back. And you are able to move off into the trees.
Uh-oh.
Now.
That's okay.
Yep, it's okay. So, what is it you want to do? Eldon is walking along with you, obviously, kind of keeping an eye on things.
I say we start heading up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
we
I have
need general
no
direction.
idea of where we are at.
Suggest any buffs that last a while. I'll certainly be using mage armor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get them up before we arrive.
Yep. So, so mage armor is up there. If anything, you figure, 2 miles you can get there in roughly through this terrain there, moving at your slowest pace person, Eldon. You'll be probably about a half an hour or so out. Maybe a little longer than that if you take your time and run into any issues. But as you approach, if you start moving slower and stealthier, obviously that'll take a little bit longer. So figure anywhere between a half an hour and an hour to get there.
Are the trees relatively close together? Or are they more spread out?
Somewhat. They're definitely thick enough that it's hard to see things from the air so much. But yeah, they're fairly close together. It's
Okay.
fairly.
Well, with my grappling hook and also the fact that I can jump 3 times more than what I usually could, can I travel through the trees at this point if they're that close?
You could. You're gonna make a lot of noise.
That's true.
Essentially, you can't move stealthily through the trees using a grappling hook and smashing through tree branches and stuff like that. So, you could definitely get up into a tree fairly easily.
Yeah,
but to kind of go from tree to tree would be difficult.
Right. Before we get there, before we get to like the main town, I want to like get a grasp on the terrain and stuff like that around us.
Okay.
Well, could I go ahead and transform and fly above to kind of check things out?
Absolutely. Go ahead and use up you have your wild shapes there.
Kodo, come back. No, come back.
Which falcon form?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead and mark up one of your wild shapes there, and so you've into the familiar small dark brown and dark gray and black falcon with the green tipped feathers. You're able to take to the air and give sort of a wide circle. Give me a perception check.
All right.
With advantage since it is sight-based.
Oh my gosh, where's my stuff? One second.
No worries. Yep. So as the falcon takes to the air, what are the rest of you doing? Just heading off in the direction of that Saleha mentioned?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd ask
that sounds about right.
I'd ask what order people are wanting to be in. Assuming Sarah, you want to take the front on this one?
Sure. I'll go up front, but I can't like look for traps or anything, or
No,
my
you
perception's not that great.
Well, mine is, but just let me know when you want me to look, and I will.
So one thing, Natalie, if you are looking at the, you should be able to see Elia in roll 20 now, and she's now sitting in the PCs folder.
Oh, okay.
So I will bring her token out here. Oh, that's not
Alright.
it. Hold on.
Ah, there's two of me.
Okay. So yes. So essentially, you're all there. Go ahead and give me a general like marching order arrangement based on essentially this would be the direction you're heading in up the map this way. So who wants to be kind of out in front? Who wants to be toward the back? And you don't need to be in a single file line, but sort of a general arrangement of folks.
Thor will be out in front.
Okay. Yeah. So Elliot, you're gonna be zooming around up above, and so go ahead and let's see. Go ahead and roll that one more time because you do get the advantage on sight checks from the air with the bird sight.
Okay, roll again.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. You're going to roll twice. Yep.
Alright.
Let's see if you can beat that.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you will see as you kind of like take up high and sort of zoom around, moving at the falcon speed, which is faster than any hawk or eagle is going to be, specifically over at any given distance. You're able to kind of get a good wide arc there of a couple of miles in a matter of 10, 15 minutes or so. So as the party's kind of trudging along through the trees, they're finding their way to the actual trail. It's a rough road that you end up finding there. You will spot the village from the air. It is somewhat to the northeast, and you do see that there is a trail of some sorts that does lead in there, sort of a meandering trail that goes through the woods and some rocky areas and hills and such. Do you want to get close up to see any details about the village itself, or stay up nice and high?
I definitely want to have a bird's eye view, if you will.
Okay.
And I would be telepathically relaying this message over to Amethyst.
Okay. So you guys have that link set up there, and so a couple things from high up there. You're not going to see a lot of people. They're kind of like ants to you down on the ground there, but there are a few figures moving around through the village itself. There, the village has about 20 to 30 kind of circular looking huts and buildings, almost like permanent yurts in a way. They're kind of these circular buildings with the kind of the conical roofs on them, that you kind of spot from the air. There is a stream that goes through there, kind of making a large pond area sort of in the middle. It kind of runs north and south through the village itself. And with a 17 there, you're going to spot something else there in the northeast part of the village. You will spot a very large looking wagon that you can see. And nearby, amongst some little fenced in areas, there are some large quadruped type creatures that you can see, that are kind of milling around inside of the little fenced in areas, up in the northeast section of the town itself.
Okay.
And so you're able to relay that back to Amethyst there, so you can kind of fill in the party as well.
That way we can come up with something, some type of plan.
Yeah. Yeah. There is basically, I said, the stream kind of runs north-south through there. There is a northern, very rough-looking trail coming in the north of the village there, and the main entranceway seems to be coming in from the west side of the village there. So kind of you're traveling up to the northwest. It'd be the main trail, the main gate of such there. The village does have a palisade wall around it. It looks to be pretty well built. It's not large or it's not massive or anything else, but you can just definitely see there is a wooden palisade all the way around the village itself. And about the time you guys get back to the party, where everyone is, we're going to move you into this little area here. You want to zoom out to about, you're going to see a big yellow area on the left side of that map that you can kind of place yourselves on the map here, somewhere in that space there. So it's sort of a large kind of rocky hillside to your right as you come along this trail, and another one to your left So it's almost forms sort of a little ring, and it opens up ahead of you, kind of straight ahead of you, in this direction over here. You can kind of place yourselves on the trail. Elia, you will so you're still in bird form. I'll put Eldon on the map there, so we've got him in place. He'll kind of be trailing back behind there, keeping an eye on things. And so I believe if I put Elia on here, can you move the token there? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I will say we'll say actually let me go ahead and put a little focus on here. You are currently in bird form. So I'll put a little wing on little wing on you. Let me also go ahead and make sure, since we are starting fresh here, you all have your inspiration. So that means you have your reroll to use, or your advantage to take. Okay.
Some of us have more than one.
No, you have something different. Okay. So I will say this, Elia, you will see that I will say you will have seen more of this map than they will. So I can't reveal it to everybody because they can't see it yet there. The trail does continue up around to the right from here. And that sort of heads off in the direction of where the gate. There's sort of a little bit of a meandering, it takes sort of a meandering path through the trees and kind of rocky hillsides in this area here. So, what is it? We're gonna start up a little. This is what I want. So, as you get to this region here, what is it you want to? What is your plan as you move through this area over here? Kind of moving stealthily, kind of just moving along there. I know Sora can't move very stealthily, but you can move slowly and not go charging through the underbrush. So it's kind of like, are you moving as stealthily as Sora can, or are you just kind of charging on ahead? What's the plan there?
Sora's plan was just to move and stay on the path as much as possible. Not make a lot of noise, but plate makes the noise it makes.
Right. Okay, anyone else? Anything else they're planning to do along this trail here?
I'm staying very stealthy in the trees and stuff at this point.
Okay. You don't see a lot of trees. Like, obviously, the only trees you see right now are the one behind you over here, and there's some up on top of the hillsides to the left and the right.
Okay, I see what you're talking about.
So if you do you want to hop up on the hillside at all?
Yeah, I will. In fact.
Okay. Let me go ahead and I'll reveal a little bit more of that so you can see that. So there actually is
this way.
Some hills up on top of here. So you hop up on there. Give me a perception check up there.
You got it. My first roll, guys. How do you think this is going to go?
Not 20.
God, it rolled forever.
Okay.
Not well.
Yeah, so you hop up on there. You see some trees up on top of here. It's kind of a flat. Let me reveal the rest of that up there so you can see more of it. Since you are up on top of here, you see kind of over to here. It's kind of this little hillside up on top there. It does wrap around to either side, and the trail does continue over to this side over here. So as you kind of see, obviously you all can't see, but you do see a Trevor pop up on there, up on the hillside. You said you're moving stealthy. Give me a stealth check.
Yep.
I'm gonna go up there as well and keep my eye on Trevor.
Okay. You use your climb speed.
Yeah. Since he's split the party already.
No, I haven't. I'm right there.
We're close enough to each other.
That hillside's about 15 feet up, roughly anywhere from 10 to 15 feet up there, depending on the rocks and everything else.
I'm not going out of anyone's sight. Don't worry.
And would I be over them?
You can be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can definitely be over them if you want. You can kind of position yourselves above them there. We'll assume, again, you have the little wing on you, so you're still flying above there. We'll put, let me move Eldon kind of up here. He's kind of keeping things there. So you're flying above there. Okay, both Amethyst and Elia, give me perception checks and stealth. Just to see if you okay. All right. So as
Big
Eldon,
roll.
nice.
Just roll
Wow.
twice.
So Amethyst, you sort of like scramble up the side there, and Elia and Trevor, you don't realize she's there. Like she just kind of like, and she's up in some little bushes at the very top of the hill there, just invisible for the moment. No one, you don't even realize that she's there. Elia, you lose track of Amethyst entirely. While she kind of moves up the hillside there, and you're like, you see Trevor, you don't see Amethyst at the moment. Amethyst, you will spot there is a figure. Let me just here in the bushes. And with that perception, you're going to see they are definitely they are definitely elvish. Similar garb somewhat to Brevalor, kind of the greenish leather armor, kind of that kind of greenish tones. He's blending in very, very well. You realize that Trevor has no clue he's there, but this guy is like standing right there, literally 10 feet away from Trevor at this point. Elia, yeah, you kind of like almost like panicking as Amethyst disappears, and you're kind of like flying around there trying to get track of her. Nothing seems to take note of you flying around in that direction there. And Trevor, you're sort of like slide into place there, not making a sound. But there's Amethyst, you spot this guy right here that's 10 feet away from Trevor there. You don't see... Yeah, you'll see he's definitely wearing some sort of leather armor there. He has some sort of a shield, kind of a stylized, shaped shield on his left arm there. And there is a longbow in that hand as well. Like the shield kind of conforms around there, and there's a longbow in his hand. There's no arrow drawn or anything else, but he's kind of sitting there, kind of crouched, looking around.
I'm going to warn Trevor telepathically there's a guy 10 feet away from him in the bush. And I'm also going to reassure Elia that I am still here.
Did you just warn me that there's a person there, like, or that?
Yeah, there's a person with a bow.
Okay.
10 feet away from you in the bushes.
I draw my weapon and go, like, yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna that's your intention there. Cool.
I mean, well, let me elaborate. I'll get it. I'll ready my pistol. I won't draw it, but I'll,
You just put your hand down there.
The coat's over. You know what I mean? Like the coat's
sure.
Like,
yeah. You gotta slide your hand in your coat there. You put your hand on your pistol. Okay. All right. So that's what happens there. Let's see. Sora and Lucas, go ahead and give me just stealth check to see how much noise you're making, or not making, as the case may be. Sure. Yeah. And I'll go ahead and roll for Eldon too, since I have. I'll just roll a d20 for him, just so I can.
Can y'all like stop destroying me on the stealth checks? That'd be cool.
Wow, Lucas. Okay.
I know everybody's outrolling me.
Jeez.
The stealthiest guy in the party, but everybody beat me.
Yep.
I'm so glad we installed that add-on that lets us roll 20s every time.
There you go. Exactly. Right. Obviously, something's working there, isn't it?
Yeah, can someone give me the link?
Sure. Okay. Perfect. So, Lucas, I would just say this: Sora's kind of just. She's not like. She's literally just kind of clomping around. She's not like knocking things over or making there, but the plate mail's making noise. And the fact that you're in sort of a little bit of a canyon here with like rocky walls on your side there, it's echoing a bit as you walk through here. So you just kind of duck off to the side, and we'll just say you just kind of literally flip into this little alcove right here as Sora continues moving forward and Eldon following after. Eldon's being a little bit stealthier, but not a lot. He's clumping along in his half plate he's wearing. So the two of them are here. Amethyst, one last thing that you do see with that perception check as well. There is something over here on the far side of the rocks something large and scraping along the rocks over there. Just sort of and you hear us from something on the far side of this little hillside over the rocks over here. Can't see it yet. It's not, it may be down over the side, but you definitely hear something over there, somewhere over on this side of the rocks. Other than that, you don't see anything. Trevor, you've been alerted that somebody is here.
Yep.
That person doesn't seem to be doing anything for the moment, so what is it you're going to do?
Come out.
Okay? You say come out?
Yep.
Okay.
Not drawn yet.
I'll need everyone to go ahead. Well, we're going to take a quick break.
No, we're not.
It's that time.
Yes,
we are. Because I want everyone
fine.
to make sure they have something to drink and they have a minute here. Because as soon as we come back, we are
Seriously?
going to be rolling for initiative. Yes.
Can I shoot
I
him?
already got my snacks
otherwise-
and my drink.
Otherwise, we're going to be jumping into this, and who knows how long it's going to take, and then we're not going to get a break at all. So this is a perfect time to take a quick break, just to go grab something to drink there, and we'll be right back in just a minute. All right, welcome back, everyone. We are just getting ready here, and everyone, let's go ahead and roll initiative. If you haven't already done so, let's get everyone on the turn order.
Guys ready for this nat 20? Nope.
And Elliot, if you click on your token, and then you hit the initiative button up top, it should pop up on the top of the screen there. It should roll initiative for you, I believe. If you want, I can also roll it for you if you want. Oh, there you go. Good. I think you click on your token first and then roll.
Yeah, you actually have to make sure it's highlighted, like when
Yeah,
the little 3 colored icons come up top. Yeah. And then go to D&D Beyond and roll it.
Or you can do it here in Roll20.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep, you are good. Cool. All right. So let me order everybody here. I didn't put Eldon on there yet. We got Eldon on there real fast. I have to do him. And boop. Eldon's in there too. Oops. Other way. Okay. All right. So, Trevor, you basically come on out, and this guy here will just speak, and only 2 of you, I think, will understand this. He does speak in sort of a strange, lilting voice that's a little bit more of a rasp to it, as it says in Sylvan, "As you wish." And this guy rolls out, running this way, drawing an arrow off his back, and you see he's holding his left arm is in he has a shield on, but there's a longbow he's somehow holding on to with the shield, and the shield is shaped, it doesn't get in the way of the bow itself. He pulls an arrow out and shoots at you, Trevor.
Okay.
Since you kind of made your presence known there.
Mhm.
Let me there he is. Had to pull the character sheet up there. He will shoot. And the arrow goes wide. You duck out of the way as it just kind of zips past your head there. And he makes a second shot. Also, essentially you sort of just drop prone, and you realize that he didn't have a quite good beat on where you were. You made a good stealth check, and so while you were kind of popped up in there, he just kind of fired off in your general direction there, and 2 arrows go whizzing by you.
All right.
And one thing. Yeah, that's it. Trevor, you're up.
Where did my gun go? Oh, there it is. Okay.
You a pistol or rifle?
Pistol.
You're reaching for your pistol. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he kind of just runs off toward the edge over here, and you can see he's kind of right at the edge of this rocky cliff side of This little rocky hill. Okay, 14 will miss him. He actually will kind of catch it on the shield and kind of pings off this bit there. Sort of
Can
a
I use my
reinforced
inspiration to
wooden
reroll
shield.
that, please?
Sure, if you want to use it already, go for it.
I don't like how you said that, but I'm just going to do it because I
Well,
said
it's the first shot of the round. I mean,
that's
okay.
true. You know what? Yeah, no, that's a valid point. All right, I'm just going to take my second shot.
Sure, yeah. He missed you horribly twice. Okay. That one, as the first shot pings off there, he kind of looks up in alarm as a chunk of the shield gets blown off by the pistol, and he just drops super low for the second one as the second bullet just goes flying past him, as he kind of looks at you, a bit of alarm on his face as he's not expecting bullets to come flying at him. So that will be anything you want to do as a bonus or anything else, or any kind of movement.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna. No, I can't use my grappling gun after I've made my attacks, right? So
it's a bonus action.
Oh, then actually, no. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that anyway. I'm going to go. Right there.
Okay.
Because you said Ellie is still in bird form, right?
Yeah, she's going to fly.
Okay, then yeah.
Okay. All right. So Eldon's going to go here, and Eldon's sort of looking around like, I don't know what's going on exactly, but this doesn't look good. And let me see what he's going to do real quick. I believe. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Pull up his character sheet. There he is. Sorry, just verifying I know what I'm doing here with him.
I can't find my gun without the sharpshooter on it.
Oh.
Like it's not here.
Huh. It may have gotten deleted by accident. I'm not sure.
No, I don't know when I would have done that.
He would go ahead and you see his little shoulder-mounted cannon pops out into place there, and then he sends his bird up to also fly around as his little clockwork owl flies up and around the various places here. Let me put that on the map too, so we've got that, so we know where it is. There we go. Okay, so the little owl, make him a little bit bigger so I can see him. Not that big. There. As he kind of flies off in this direction over here. Okay. And that's what he will at least kind of move behind this rock over here, just to kind of get out of the way. And that will be Eldon's turn. Elia, you are up.
All right, so clarification question. Am I able to cast a cantrip from being in flight form?
No, so you at the high level ability, be able to cast spells while you're in animal form. So you need to change back if you want to cast any spells.
All right, so then I would land, and I would go about here. And then I would cast Mind Sliver.
Okay, on this guy here. Cool.
Yes.
And that is an attack roll, or is it a saving throw?
It is actually intelligence saving throw.
Okay. All right. So he will try to make his save here. Where's my guy? I lost him. Come back here. There he is. Let me pop him out so I can get him over the other sheet. Okay. Intelligence saving throw. Oof. Roll a 16 though. So is that enough? I'm not sure.
It says, let me see. For my armor class is 15. Or I'm sorry, you wanted the saving throw.
Spell save DC.
It says 14.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he kind of, and is there any effect on a failed save? I can look it up too real fast here, so I've got it.
I can post it too if you need me to.
Either one.
Oh my god, I hit the wrong thing.
Worries.
Yeah, I just need to see the spell real fast so I can just make sure I don't think there's anything on
It
a
doesn't.
failed.
I use it all the
So-
time. I used to use it all the time. There's on Minesliver, there's not one.
Okay. Succeed or take damage. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there's nothing on a failed. Nothing on a successful save. Okay. So he kind of like shrugs as this sort of little emerald looking shards of energy appear at his head there, and he kind of like winces and shrugs it off, just barely, as he manages to not be affected by it. Anything else you want to do? Bonus action or anything else?
That's gonna be it for my turn.
Okay, cool. Lucas. So you've seen actions happening up on the hillside above you. You don't see anything else currently in view. You saw Eldon's owl kind of fly off to the north.
I'll move forward initially.
Okay.
Can I see anything from there?
I'll give you a perception check. Good Lord. What is it with you guys here? Come on.
It's a good day.
Okay. So you will actually spot two things. One, there is a guy hiding in the bushes over here. From that vantage point, yeah, you're going to see this person isn't really hiding. They're just kind of standing over here in the bushes. I'll reveal that in just a minute here. I know you can't see that yet. And one more back here. And let me reveal a little bit more of the area so you can see all these folks, what's happening here. So we're just going to go out to here. I did not reveal. Come on. There we go. There we go. So as I mentioned before, the trail kind of bends, kind of gets overgrown in one section over here, and it bends around to the right. But there are two figures, one standing here, one standing over here. Kind of this one's kind of tucked underneath a tree, kind of a little bit out of sight there, but you spot them pretty well. And this one kind of standing over here. Also, yeah, with a natural 20 as well, you will see up on the rocks. One sec. You will see there is a very large snake kind of coiled around and kind of moving along the rocks over here. So this little guy right here, this big guy here, kind of this big yellowish brown snake that's just sort of like slithering along the rocks on the far side of this hill. That's what you see with that 24. Now, yeah, so that's what's out there.
How high is all the rocks?
This one behind you is about 15 feet. This one over on this side is about 10 feet.
I will. Aiming to get.
Where are you putting that? Actually, let me give you a template there. Let's see, that would be... Come on now. Give me that token. Are you able to move that?
No, I can't move it.
Okay, so you see right about here?
Yep.
Okay, so then those two. All right. All right, so we'll go ahead and make these two save. Dexterity saves for those two. Let me make sure I have their sheets up so I can do that.
Can I get all three? The two people and the snake.
Let me see. There's a place you can put it.
I should be able to there.
Let's see. It's going to be a 20-foot blast. Let me bring that back out again. I don't think there's a way you can get all three of them. There's because they're more than 30 feet apart, or they're more than 20 feet apart.
Not even if you put it like on the hill.
20-foot radius.
Well,
it's 40 foot
isn't it?
across.
Yeah, so it's that's 40 feet across. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is 40 feet.
So if you moved it like 3 squares left.
I think that the snake would be out of it. You could get those two in there.
If you center it
Or
here,
these. Oh, sorry, those three up there. Gotcha. I thought you meant the other one over here.
Oh, I
Okay.
can't see one over there.
we can't see
Don't
anybody
see
over
one
there.
over there.
You don't see that one?
Nope,
You should.
No,
Did I not put them on the right on the token layer?
there's one over there.
Yeah. That should be visible. I don't have it hidden anymore.
The 3 here, but there's nobody over that way.
Check the map
But we can
layer.
see.
I did. Yeah, they're on the token layer now. That is weird.
Maybe you rolled a really good stealth.
Really good. Even I can't get them. Let's see. Let's try this. Bring that one back. You know what, I'm going to try something else here. I think I know what happened. 1 sec. Sorry. This was an old token I didn't refresh. Let me see. I lost a bunch of tokens.
Trevor
Now does it
has
show
them.
up?
Yeah.
yeah.
There it is. Okay. Yep. I know what happened. I had to refresh some pictures, and that token lost its actual picture anymore. So I thought I refreshed them all, but I did miss that one. So cool. So yeah, there's that one over there. So yeah, these three, absolutely. You can hit all these three. So let me get the snake up here as well. So I got all three to make their saves.
Nice,
Okay.
Lucas. Coming in clutch.
Okay, so the snake with a 10 does not save. So it will be taking 30 points and being very unhappy. Let me get rid of the template now. Okay. Then the T over here, we'll try to make her save. And no bonus. Yes. Okay, so this one does get advantage. Does make that save, so we'll be taking 15. Come on. Sorry. So yes, the fire rips through here, singeing all the trees and kind of scorching the rocks along here. And the last guy here, where is he? There he is. We'll make that dex save there with a 20, also taking 15 as well. So he kind of ducks down, trying to get out of the. Manages to kind of throw up his shield and cower behind it there, and takes a little bit less damage there. She kind of ducks back into the tree a little bit there. The branches above her get singed a little bit more, but the snake takes it full on the side of the rocks there. It just gets cooked a bit. Definitely, the ground and the trees are all very wet, so they don't catch fire. But there is a smoldering smoke over the whole area now that happens. Anything else there as bonus action?
I'll give Bardic Inspiration to Sora.
Okay. So Sora, you will have, let me mark that for you. You will have Bardic Inspiration from Lucas there. The red dot is. Okay. Then the snake gets to go. The snake is going to, what's its movement? Let me see here. Where is he? There he is. Okay. He's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to actually move. Well, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see which one here. I'm just going to roll to see which one he goes for. 1, 2, 3 will be Elia. 4, 5, 6 will be Trevor. 1, 2, 3 is Elia. Kind of slip straight across over to here. And the snake leans up there and tries to bite. Let's see if it can do so. Nope, 11. You manage to, as a snake's head, this giant snake, and as it moves out here, this snake is massive. It's easily about 20 feet long, about a couple of feet across, at its widest part there, as this thing kind of slithers there. The head is bigger than your torso, Elia, and you dodge back out of the way as the fangs snap about a foot or so in front of you. And that's the snakes go. These folks down here. Now they are not happy. But let's see what they do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, actually, this one's going to take up a little bit of cover over here and shoot their short bow at you, Lucas. They pull out a little bow off their back there and shoot. A 16?
Yeah.
That's where you see it. Okay. So you will get hit for 5 piercing and 5 poison as a burning sensation, not only from the piercing there, but the kind of this little pulse of venom spreads through you. This one, let's see, this one, seeing what you did over there. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going to run across over to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, hit there. And we'll take a shot as you as well. Yes. 17 for 3 piercing, a little 8 poison damage. As 2 shots sink into you from either side from these snake folk here. Are you going to look at them, especially as it's coming across there? They are very humanoid looking there, but with you can see the scales on their face, kind of greenish skin and scales across their face there. So you definitely see they're not like the elves that you're seeing here. Amethyst, you are up. There's a giant snake that slithered out and snapped at Elia. There's a elf that ran across here, shot at Trevor. And something is happening down below you that you can't really see other than a giant flash of fire that just lit up the entire other far side of the hillside which you're standing on.
I'm obviously going to go for the one that's attacking Elia and 15 psychic damage with Mind Spike.
Okay. Let's see. That would be intelligent wisdom save. Not so good on these guys. Nope, definitely not. So 15 damage, and what else happens on Mind Spike? Is that the one that's
It lets me know where they are if they disappear.
So it hisses in pain as the sort of lavender violet colored spike drives into its skull. And it sort of recoils a bit there as its eyes light up the same color as the violet energy that you fire out at it. Anything as a bonus action or a move?
No.
Okay. So you keep your position there. All right, Sora, you are up.
Did Lucas point out the person over here at the tree?
Probably not. He kind of like focuses attention over this direction here. So if you wanted to give me a perception check to see if you spot them,
Sure.
I would give you that because they are sort of hidden at this point. Actually, they are hidden, but okay. Yeah, you're not sure that the position of that one there. You definitely do see this person that ran across over here, and you did see an arrow come from this person over here. You can hear slithering and everything else up here, and kind of see some commotion happening up on top of the hillside above you. But these are the ones that you can currently see. These two over here.
Okay, I'm going to make a run by. I'm going to come over here to Trevor, or to Lucas, sorry. And I'm going to do a spell.
I will note that, Lucas, you are not currently poisoned. You took poison damage, but you don't have the poison condition. So it did not apply the condition to you. apply the condition to you. Okay. On Lucas.
On Lucas.
Okay. So Lucas, you now have +2 AC.
Okay.
And I think with the rest of my movement, I get there.
Okay. So you rush on up to there. Cool. And so you definitely see this this very snake-like person there. You can see now that the features, there's no real nostril, there's really a nose. The face is very snake-like there, a little bit of elongated, kind of the snake mouth, greenish scales, and kind of those yellowish snake eyes staring out at you, just kind of wide-eyed as you're rushing toward it there with your hammer out.
Well, hammer's not out.
Oh, sorry, hammer's not out yet. Okay. So shield's
No.
up though.
Shield is up, but I'm gonna pull my javelin out.
Okay. So you draw. So you on the run there. You pull out your javelin out from behind your back there.
And I think you gave me one that had lightning on it.
I don't think so. It has the javelin of the shield breaker javelin is what you had there, or the spellbreaker javelin.
Yeah. That one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chuck it at her.
Oh, go for it. Yeah. Okay. Actually, shield is the bonus action. Never mind. Yep. You're all set. Go ahead and roll that attack.
Did he go?
I don't see it yet.
There it goes. It might go twice, but there it goes.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, you absolutely hit there. The javelin just sinks into it there. It doesn't flare off because there's no magical effects on this creature, so it doesn't actually use a dispel magic portion. But it does sink into her for 7 damage there. And
I got her attention.
Absolutely, she is fully looking at you right now. Kind of the basically the kind of the tongue flicks out at the air, and you see definitely kind of a alarm as the bows in her hand. All right then. Top of the round, we have these guys get to go. And we're just gonna go ahead and do this real fast as this happens. Never mind. Come on. As a third one hops up here, he is going to seeing that, he's going to take a shot at Sora over here because the blue dragonkin just went charging across the way, and he will draw out his bow, same there, and shoot. Does not hit. An arrow thunks into the ground behind you as you're charging on the way, and another one, essentially one thunks in here in the ground as you're literally while you're in mid move, and another one clatters out the rocks next to you as you go on there. So two kind of arrows kind of pops off there. This one here, seeing Lucas just did with a fireball, is going to fire at Lucas with a longbow. Does not hit. In fact, let me just do something real fast. Okay. The bowstring kind of like dry fires the bow, and the arrow kind of flops out to the side. He doesn't lose hold of the bow there, and does take a second attack, and nails you for 4 piercing damages as an arrow kind of shoots by and just kind of grazes your shoulder, with a 22 to hit there. And up top here, this one. I was going to exchange fire at Trevor since he got shot there, and still kind of like patting out flames a little bit there from everything. And looking over at you, Trevor, there, we'll take a shot. 19 to hit for 5 piercing damage.
It will, but he's going to reroll that, please.
Okay. 17.
Oof. Yeah, I wasted that.
Well, I will still take the first damage roll, so it's still 5 piercing damage.
Okay.
Because he rerolled the attack, not the damage. So 5 piercing damage as it hits you. He will take a second shot and miss terribly. So the first one kind of like grazes your shoulder, and you kind of drop to the ground there as another arrow comes flying by you, just kind of zipping past you, off clattering out down the hillside.
Is he Elvis? Was he able to roll that like in one force cover or no?
What?
Oh, never mind. It doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, so you're not in 3/4 cover. You're basically I just have cover there.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, that's why I said never mind. It's fine. But
because
Trevor's not
plus
happy
2 AC
right now.
Yep. Well, it's your turn, Trevor. So what do you do? Actually, he will go ahead and move because he's not. He sees the writing on the wall here. He's going to actually bound down the hillside over here.
Yep.
And since he doesn't have a climb speed, he'll get down to about there at the base of the hill. Actually, we'll kind of move one more space there. That's where he's at. Okay.
I can't get to him either. No,
you can see him from the top here. He's just down the hill, so you are elevated position here. You have the high ground.
It's over, Elf. I'm not doing that. Copyright infringement. All right.
I know.
So I am going to look at him and smile and says, I have never missed twice in my life, and I have no intention on doing that again. I'm going to look at him. Aim my gun. This is going to be with advantage. Spend a grit point on that.
Cool. That's right. Make sure you right click and fire with advantage.
No, I didn't hit right click, but it's not going to matter anyway. I mean, I guess I will do it again just in case.
Roll again to see if you get that 20. Fish for the 20.
Nope.
Okay, so you hit him for 15 damage there, and that shot just kind of cracks him just above, just to the right of the sternum there, and just thunks in there, and he just staggers and falls down from the shot there as he drops to the ground.
Do I see a Yuan-Ti right there?
Yeah, absolutely. She's just standing behind. She literally fired from behind that stump. There's a little stump right here, and you're looking right down at her.
Now look down at her, not smile at all. I'll get like a grimace on my face and like yell out, "Hey, snake bitch!"
You get the great point back, by the way, because you dropped it.
Yep, that's right. I do. Nice, awesome. And I'm running low on bullets, though.
Oh, you know what? Let's get something going here. I realized my music stopped. I forgot about that. Let's see what we have here. Sure, this works. Cool. Second shot?
Yeah, definitely. I did already, I thought.
There it is. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So that second shot into the Yuan-Ti, it literally drives completely through her left arm and partially into her side as it almost knocks her to the ground there. She's literally just barely hanging on. She kind of drops to one side there. Her left arm that was holding the short bow, she drops the short bow to the ground as she's just sort of like bleeding there profusely. Sora, you see the shot there in front of you as she like staggers past the stump there, and she's just sort of looking up at you, just kind of hissing at you. Anything else, Trevor?
Oh, it's tempting, but no.
Okay.
He's just barreling down here with this look.
Okay. All right. So Eldon, he is going to go ahead and he's going to have his, let's see. Sure, he didn't cast that ahead of time there, but he will go ahead and fire on this guy here. He pulls out his magic missiles. Some magic missiles go plunking into this guy here, and then fires his Eldritch Cannon. Let me just do that real fast. Where is his... Okay, sorry. We'll just call it that. Okay, he definitely hits. I don't have my beyond 20 rolling over here, so you have to trust me on this that he hits. Yeah,
What?
Ooh,
Trust
yikes.
the DM?
Yes. Well, in this case, it's rolling in your favor. So you will see some magic missiles stunk into this guy, and then a force blast from his cannon hit him. Let me just roll. Let's see, what is it going to be here? It's going to be, what, 3d4, 4d4. Sure. With that, 23. He goes staggering out of cover. He gets from the force hitting him. Just kind of staggers out there. Sora, you now see this guy over here. He does literally get staggered out of cover, and he is definitely not in good shape. As he falls out from the bushes there to your left there, and you see that. He's gonna go ahead and move over here in the rocks, just kind of keeping along here. And his bird will kind of fly over this direction. Elia, you are up.
All right.
Snake in front of you, gunfire and arrows flying around down below you. Amethyst just off to your right behind you.
Okay, and I'm what, about 5-10 feet from the snake?
Basically 5 feet, yeah.
5 feet.
Yeah, it kind of coiled back a little bit. We'll say you're actually 10 feet. It's
Okay.
more like right here.
I think I'm gonna go with, since well, you said 10 feet. I think I'm gonna move and then do Mind Sliver.
Okay. So you guys. All right. So I will say this is going to be. Oh yeah, -3 on his intelligence save there. So go ahead and roll that damage.
All right.
I believe it's 2d4.
Oh.
Sorry, 2d6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, it. So the two of you are kind of both squared off against this giant snake there. It takes some more psychic damage as it hisses in pain a bit there, and you can see sort of this lingering traces of greenish energy floating around its head. Amethyst, as you recognize the after effects of a Mind Sliver, since you have it as well. Anything as a bonus action or any more of a move?
Nope. I think that's gonna do it for my turn.
Okay, so the snake is there. We have Lucas. Took a pretty good round of attacks there, and there's a few people focused on you at least. What would you like to do?
I'll move.
Okay. Amethyst and Elio having a little
spat over in the corner.
Domestic.
We're fine. Don't worry about it. Carry on.
Yep. Okay.
And I will.
Should be 3 people, I think, if I know what you're doing. Yep. So three targets. So yourself, Sora, and Trevor.
Yep.
Okay. All right. You guys are all going to be. I'm going to put a little dot on you for. We'll call this
Sora
one
has so
pink
many
one.
dots.
I know, because Sora still has the bardic inspiration as well. Okay. So that means you're all blessed. So the 3 of you are blessed currently. Anything else in the bonus section?
Nope, that's it for now.
Okay. Alrighty, the snake is going to, looking at the 2 of you there, is going to. Where'd my sheet go for this one? There he is. Okay. It's going to lunge forward, wrapping around, trying to wrap around Elia since you're the one in front. It's going to try to constrict.
I am so mad at you.
So this thing wraps. So Amethyst, you kind of get nudged back a little bit as the snake sort of wraps around Elia. Now, being in close proximity, being linked to where you are, Amethyst. Something. So you're about to take 19 bludgeoning damage as it starts to squeeze around you, and you're currently held, restrained by this thing. Amethyst, as the snake tightens around Elia, you can feel a flash of the same pain that she's feeling.
Nice.
As a reaction, if you want, you can take half her damage.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll both take 9 damage instead.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay, so you feel the snake tighten around you, Elia, and you feel that flash of pain, but some of it just sort of recedes away. The physical damage is still there, but some of the pain that's associated with it there shifts away from you, and you only take 9 damage instead of 19.
Smooches, love you.
However, you are still wrapped up in this snake.
Smooches.
And you are considered restrained. You can't move away, and you are disadvantaged. I believe restrained. Let me double check that real fast here. Conditions on restrained. Movement is 0. Attack rolls against you have advantage. Attack rolls you make against anything else is at disadvantage while you're restrained, and disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. So it has advantage on you, and you get disadvantage on pretty much everything else. But that is its turn. The Yonti down here. This one is going to scramble back out of the way. She was sort of just kind of hunched over there, one hand on the ground there. She scrambles back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there. She's then going to dash 1, 2, 3, 4.
Chicken.
Yep, there. So movement and then the action to dash to get out of the way here. And I'll reveal a little more of that map over there so you can see where she went. So she is. That didn't reveal. Come on now. There we go. So kind of back into the trees over here. That is her. This one here. Oh, why not? She's not happy with all that fire you used, Lucas. That was really mean of you. You shouldn't do that. She's going to rush up, drawing a scimitar as she gets to here, and slashing at you once. 16.
No.
You're going to use your reaction?
Now I've got 18 because Sora gave me an extra 2.
That's right. I marked it on my sheet here. You are currently at 18. Excellent. So the slash comes at you, and it's dead to right. It's about to hit you there, and bounces off a sort of a little reflective field that's surrounding you, and you see kind of a flash of radiant energy as it just skitters across that little field, just shy of hitting your skin. She's then going to, seeing that, and she's going to exhale a cloud of poisonous gas kind of in your face. You need to make a Constitution save. There it is. Okay, no problem. You only take 3 damage instead. It should say for half. It doesn't say, but yeah. So you kind of like and manage to hold your breath there, but a little bit. You still get a little bit in your nose and your eyes a bit as it stings from the poison cloud around you.
It's poison damage, is it?
It's poison damage, yes.
Yeah, 'cause I've got resistance.
That's right. Yeah, you did mention that. You shifted the gem to poison?
No,
Really?
spell.
That's right. You already have exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So is the gem currently set for cold still?
It's still on cold, yeah.
Cool. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. All right. So yes, you do have resistant poison damage as well. Excellent. So that's their go. Amethyst, you are up. The snake is coiled around Elia. Just huge, massive there, squeezing tightly, and its head sort of like lashed up above about 5 feet above her, kind of poised to strike down with its fangs.
Right, I will touch Elia, and I will use the cape to teleport us both across to the cliff across there.
Over here. Okay. I'll put you guys put side by side, kind of, yeah, right there. So you zip on over to here out of the snake's clutches as the snake sort of like kind of convulse as the as whatever is holding there suddenly isn't there anymore, and you flip away. That is an action, correct?
It is.
Be. Yes, good. All right, so there's your action. Any bonus action?
Nope.
Okay. The snake hisses in disappointment. Sora, you are up.
Nice.
Right, so I'm going to, because I threw my javelin, it doesn't come back to me. I'm gonna have to retrieve it at some point, right?
It's on the ground over here. It didn't stick into her, so when she ran off there, it just sort of like thunked into her and then kind of hit the ground. So
Okay, I'll pull out
it's
my
right
hammer
there.
then, because I'm not gonna go get it just to throw it again. I'll get my hammer and I'll hit this person.
Just put it right there. There it is on the ground. Okay, so you draw your hammer and swing. Go for it.
I will use my D6 of Bard Inspiration.
Okay. Although it is a natural one, so if you want to use your inspiration and re-roll it, because the one's gonna be a miss no matter what.
Okay, then that's what I will do.
Cool. Okay. I'm just, or you could just
Natural
take
one. Good lord!
Yeah.
I'll just use my inspiration.
Cool. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you absolutely hit it easily. Let me go ahead and take that off there. Okay.
She's
Right,
still
so
up. Okay.
yeah, she does. So you smack the hammer into her there, and it's just sort of like it hits across the arm. She kind of grunts in pain, or hisses in pain. Sorry. Literally grunt.
Right. Going to do a Searing Smite
Okay.
as a bonus action,
Sure. And take your second swing.
and then do my second swing.
Okay. Come on. Oh yeah. All right, and so she's gonna make a Constitution save of 14, and make it with a 16. So she does take the 2 fire damage. And so 14. Oof. Yeah, she is. That second hit definitely fire licks up from the hammer as you smack it into her. She definitely has. You feel sort of the hammer hit kind of just below just a base of the ribs there, and hear some sort of crack as it sort of crunches in there, and fire licks up the side of her, and she screams. She is still up, but looking very, very bad.
Okay, I just moved back around her,
Sure.
and that will end my turn.
Okay. So you are outnumbering this person now, so they definitely will get any kind of bonuses. However, this guy's up and is going to yeah, he's going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Head over this way and take a shot at the heavily armored one or the squishy one. He's a hunter. He'll take the squishy one. You're also the one that threw fire, so he's a little more worried about you. So he will shoot his longbow into Lucas here. Hit with an 18 will hit even with the there.
I'll use my reaction to cutting words in.
Okay, and yeah, that's enough. No matter what you roll there, so it does miss. Second shot. No. Okay, so you shout out something in Sylvan, some insult in Sylvan. He kind of wavers a little bit there and narrows his eyes, but the second shot definitely goes wide and scatters into the rocks on the hillside over here. That would be him. This guy up here is going to see, new targets. Problem down there. He's going to shoot in this direction here. A long bow shot. Going to be some minuses for some cover. Does not hit. Does not hit. So 2 arrows go flying past both Amethyst and Elia. They just kind of like go skittering. They catch one of them catches the branch and goes up in the tree above you and goes skittering off to the side. The other one just kind of sails past and goes down into the little gorge past you. That's all of them. Trevor, you are up.
Definitely going after who I was. I'm kind of ignoring the snake right now, knowing that Elia got
Sure.
Elia's out of harm's way with Amethyst.
Yep.
So snake chick's going down, hopefully.
Okay.
Get him, Trevor.
Lining up that sharp shot.
Yeah. He
absolutely hits. Take the damage there. Nice. And that will drop her exactly. Yep. So that first shot, Lucas, just over your shoulder, a bullet just comes like winging past you, just past your ear, thunks into. See, she was facing you, I believe, and so just basically just hits her right in the center of the face there, sending blood and bone kind of shattering out there as it just blasts through her. Sora, you kind of see her like jerk back from the shot, and then crumple to the ground.
Yep. And for my second shot, which is going to be my last shot with my pistol until I can reload, it's going to be at the elf, or assuming it's an elf.
The one over here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's within 60 feet, right?
Oh, yeah, easily.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I believe it's, 45 feet or so? 45 feet, wow. Lighting up the shot there.
Nope, that's going to be inspiration.
Okay, go for
it.
Sure. Yeah, well, actually, hold on. Before you do that, don't forget you're a halfling. Re-roll it anyway.
Oh, right, the one. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm so glad you said that. Nice.
So now, do you want to use the inspiration?
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, thank you. That's on loop. Hold on here. Where is that? That was you. Here we go. Cool. Thank you, Sora. I didn't put the music on loop. It went through one time and stopped. So, cool. Actually, let me just double check here. So that shot, you have it dead right there. He kind of like he hears the, and after seeing what happened to his friend here, he looks and just at the last minute gets his shield just into place there as it pinks into his shield, and just barely misses him. Yeah, the 16 AC.
Yep, and on that note, I am going to leave the snake for now and get as close to the fray as I can. So, do I have to climb down that, or can I just
No,
kind
you
of
can,
like?
you can leap down it. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm going to leap as far as I can, actually, to that tree
Sure.
stump, because I can do like 3 times my thing anyway.
Sure. Yeah.
And then,
give me an acrobatics check to land it.
yeah, of course. I'm going to do a superhero landing.
Sure.
That
We know
one.
how these go. We know how these go, Nan.
Yep. No,
I
you're
got
fine.
it.
So,
I got
yeah.
it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not quite perfect, but it looks good. You just land that spot there, pistol out there, ready to kind of.
I look at Sora, a little rough on the knees. That's
Knee
some meta.
pads.
That's some meta.
That's what she said.
He's proficient.
There you go.
Wow.
Okay. Any bonus action there?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, cool. All right, so Eldon, there's a lot going on here. Many things we need to worry about. That person that was running away, they might warn somebody. And he's going to go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't quite see her yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to dash to there. Oh, what a mess! Oh, that's terrible. As he goes by the dead body here on the ground. That will be him. As a bonus action, let me see here. Sure, he'll take a shot up here. Let me double check that real fast. He will take a shot. The cannon, as he kind of is running past you, Trevor, looking in this direction, the little cannon on his shoulder swivels out and fires past you to hit this guy over here.
Eldon, you gotta warn me next time.
For some damage. It clips him, and he kind of staggers from the shot there. Doesn't drop him, but he definitely is not looking happy. As the little force blast kind of makes him stagger a little bit into the trees. He doesn't fall down, but he's just definitely looking down at his shield, like with the bullet hole still, like the bullet still lodged in his shield. That's him. Elia, you are up.
All right, so the person in the bushes on our
Mhm.
same plane. How far away am I? 60 feet, or am I?
No, roughly. I need to double check here. Should be about 30 feet or so.
Okay, cool.
You can just kind of 25 feet.
I'm definitely gonna stay away because I learned my lesson. So I'm gonna go with Mind Sliver again.
Okay. Okay, so it's going to be, where is he at here? Intelligence save on that one, 15, I believe, 14, yeah. So, so he shrugs that off there, kind of like that, gritting his teeth as the greenish energy swirls around his head. Any movement or bonus action?
I'm not going anywhere, so I'm staying here.
You settle right in there. Okay, alrighty. Lucas, you're up.
I get into trouble.
Yep, spank you.
Okay.
So move to there.
Okay. And you see, she is kind of like hissing through the teeth there in pain. There's blood trailing behind her. She is kind of staggering, that stagger running through the trees there. Ooh, distant whispers. Okay, wisdom save DC 17. She will have advantage because she is magic resistant, but not with that. So, she lets out this like high pitched shrill screech, and that just trails off into a long hiss as she just like doubles over, grasping at her head there, and drops. Okay. Anything else?
No, that's me done.
Okay. All right. So this snake. Let's just see what the snake's gonna do here real quick. Not being told what to do, so is it gonna? Yeah, it just sort of coils around the top over here, just sort of like kind of moving in a circle. Doesn't seem to notice what happened exactly. So it's just sort of like just moving around in a wide circle on the top of this hillside, just sort of like keeping an eye on things. This one is gone. There's nobody left there. Amethyst, you're up. You've got the snake across the way. You got this guy hiding in the bushes over here, and one guy down here who's been shooting at Lucas and Sora.
I'm going to summon a Slard next to the snake over here. If that's okay, Jim.
If you want to. Let me go find one. See if I still have it. I'm sure I do somewhere. There he is. Tower and Beyond. Sure. So the slot steps into place there. I can. Oh boy.
I can do all the attacks. I can do all the attacks from my spell.
Sure. Cool. Let's go ahead and claw the thing.
Oh, okay. Terrible.
Okay. So the claws there, the snake now like seeing something suddenly in front of it, it just sort of like rears up, and the claws just kind of skitter down the scales there. They don't sink into it there. It just kind of scratches along the length there. Again, the snake's massive. The slod being very, very tall, but the snake is even bigger. But that is definitely well in hand there. Is it one attack or two?
I
wasn't sure if it has one or two. I think it's
only one.
It makes the number of attacks equal to half the spell's level. So what's what you cast at level 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so it has 2 attacks. Roll it again.
Okay.
Yep.
Terrible.
Again, just kind of scratches along the length there. Essentially, it's just kind of scratching along the scales there, not penetrating the scaly hide of the thing. But that's that. Anything else as a movement bonus action?
I'm good.
Okay. Alrighty. Sora, you're up.
I'm gonna go up to this chick over here.
Which one? Oh, yeah. That's male elf, but yeah.
That female over there. That male.
Sure.
Whatever.
That elf over there.
Mm-hmm,
Hard to say.
mm-hmm.
Same thing.
He's looking pretty beat up there. He's just kind of staggering around, like looking at his eyes wide as you come moving into there. What's that? I'm not sure what's happening
It's a
there.
bonus action.
Oh, you're using Serious Smite? Okay.
Yep.
He's literally about to fall over. You might be a little overkill on this one. I'll just say that right now.
They're evil, right? Sword doesn't care.
Okay, okay.
This isn't all of them. Oh my god. Okay, go for it.
Yeah, so you just actually no, he managed to block that somehow.
Well, wait. I still have my Bard of Inspiration.
Oh, then I guess you hit him.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh wow. Okay. Nope. Like at the last minute, he's coming there and he's like, and he just puts up his shield and kind of forces up the hand there. You smack the hammer down there, and the reverberation kind of actually breaks the bow that's being held by that hand there, but the shield holds, and he somehow is still standing. Roll your second.
He still gets a con save though.
From
being on fire.
He's not on fire. He didn't get hit.
Oh, that's right. My bad.
Yeah.
Just
brain fart.
The Bardic Inspiration's a D8 actually. Now.
That's right. It is.
Okay. Although we'll just kind of call it from there.
That one hit.
Yeah. So essentially, the shield and you realize that you hear the crack as his arm breaks from the first impact, and you just bring the second one down there and just smack him, just down on the just in the clavicle there, and there's this thickening crunch and a flare of fire as he just collapses in a heap under the onslaught of your attack, and he is down. We have these guys. He is going to go ahead and run because, yeah, he kind of runs off this way, and I'm going to make a check. Don't mind this check. Where is it? Come on. Okay. Let's see here. Who's got the Amethyst? And I believe Elia both. You see him kind of run off toward the other side of this hillside and kind of try to slide into place like he's trying to hide. You can see where he is. I'm just going to leave him on the map here so you can see him. He's actually a little further off the map. But essentially, actually, no, I have more space here. Let me reveal it. As he sort of actually runs up over to here and tries to hide, but you still see him because he rolled terrible for his stealth.
Okay.
Okay, that's his action. The other ones are all gone. Trevor, you are up.
I'm assuming I know it's revealed, but can I see him yet?
I don't. Give me probably not. Your whole focus has been down this way. You are looking in that direction.
Not
give me a perception
really.
check.
I wouldn't say I would be, but I'll go.
Well,
ahead and do that just in case.
Sora was standing here when you landed.
Well, actually, after all the threats going there and seeing those two over there, I actually probably would have.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a perception check to see his spot him. Yeah, he manages to. He can't. Like, you saw some movement, but you can't pick out where he is exactly. So you know there's somebody up there, but you can't see him.
Well, that being said, again, knowing that they're up there, I am gonna go ahead and go the 30 feet I can, and use my bonus action to get a little bit further. Or can I? No, wait. I can move the full. You know what? No, it's fine.
You can move and then dash as an action.
Yeah, I'm just gonna double. Yeah, I'm gonna dash and then go.
Okay. Oh. Whoops. Yeah, bless. Don't forget your bless, guys.
Oh.
Yeah. So, actually, roll your bless on that perception check since it just happened. Yeah, okay. So you will see him kind of sliding into place there, and he's sort of like huffing, and you can just barely see him through the trees there from your angle.
Right. Well, I am going to take out my hold on. Let me check something real quick. Sorry, guys.
Where's?
Yeah, I'm going to Hunter's Mark him. And then I'm going to shoot him with my rifle twice.
Okay. Take those shots.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that yet, but okay.
Sure, yeah. That's fine.
And he is actually going to he's in the tree, or that's more of a bush?
He's at the base of a tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's not up there. All right, cool.
Doesn't matter. You ignore cover anyway.
True that.
Rifle comes out. You just kind of use the sights there, spotting the guy, lining up the shot. Waiting on.
Yeah, it's just taking a little
beyond. Ooh, no. As so it just kind of hits the branch right above him, and he ducks down, just barely. Well, I mean, he ducks down as hits the branch above him. There, you're not sure. It was a couple feet from his head. He doesn't know that.
No, it's fine. I'm going to try it one more time.
Sure. Okay, that was hits. So yeah. Go ahead and roll that damage.
Yep.
Extra.
So 24.
Oof.
Oh, wait, nope, I didn't say it first. Dang it. He was supposed to be knocked prone with that, but that's okay.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, he would be able to get up and move from that point.
Yep. That is no. I'm going to get as far up there as I can.
Yeah, so you fire twice and then move.
So right above the cliff base, right there.
Sure. All right. In that case, we go to Eldon, who now is like, "Oh, very good job, Lucas. We wouldn't want them warning anybody. Trevor, what are you firing at? I don't know what's going on here. Sora, oh, that's terrible. And just really like kind of looking around. Lucas, you are looking in very bad shape there, sir. Let me go ahead and heal you, and he will heal you for. He will spend one of his cure wounds at 2nd level. It's going to be
terrible. What's terrible?
You'll have 14 hit points, Lucas.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You were down pretty far, weren't you?
Not too bad. But...
Not too bad. Probably a little below half, maybe. Okay. All right. So you get 2 damage back there. That's Eldon. He doesn't have anything to fire at very well. His familiar kind of rush off this way. I don't see anything anything further other than the person up on top there that Trevor shot at. And Elia.
All right, so I'm about 45 feet from that one that's over by the bush.
Yeah, roughly. Yep.
I can still do Mind Sliver on them, right? Or is that not in line of sight?
Have you got a Mind Spy?
Do I? I have a
no.
Yeah, Mind Sliver. That's what I.
Yep. I mean, in terms of other things, you know what? We didn't finish collecting your spells.
I'm very limited.
Yes,
you should definitely have some spells. Yeah. I was even messaging around like, you can use a spell, you know.
Yeah. And it's funny because it dawned on me we didn't flip the rest. You have the base spells you have. You're
doing that.
We'll fix that. After this real fast. But yes. So let's go ahead and let's see what he's got there.
2d6s. That's pretty good. So.
Yeah.
Compared to what I got.
So 2d6 is the damage on that one then?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll that. Okay. You hear him kind of cry out, and he slumps to the ground.
Yay.
Yeah, kill him. Yeah.
I got one, guys.
Yay.
We all got at least one. Except for the Slod. I don't know what the Slod's doing.
I will
why
say
he's
this.
There.
The Slod and the snake will kind of smash it up, kind of have a bit of a battle there. The snake wrap around the Slod there. The Slod just at that point starts grabbing the head and pulling it back until the snake just drops limp and it's the ground and lifeless to the ground. And this, what's the duration on that spell? 1 minute.
On which spell?
Oh, to an hour. Oh my god. Okay.
On summon aberration.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an hour.
Less. Okay. All right. So a hush falls over the forest as all of the combatants you're dealing with here seem to be dead. You don't hear any alarms. You don't hear any screams. You don't hear anything else other than the rush of wind to the trees and your own heavy breathing from exertion. You're able to gather together.
I think the snake's still alive?
No, the Slot will take it apart. The snake had 12 hit points. The Slot has 93 hit points. Slot's going to win.
Regenerates 5 hit points every round as well.
Exactly. So there's really nothing the snake can do to it before the Slot will eventually just do enough damage to take it down.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the slot will regenerate whatever the snake does to it. So you have a slot with you for an hour or so. You guys can gather back together. Go ahead and either investigations or survival checks to kind of figure out direction from here. As you kind of take stock of the area here. Okay.
There's my nat one, guys.
Okay.
You deserve it after rolling like 2 nat 20s like back to back.
Yep.
3.
Kidding, you
But
don't
yeah.
deserve anything.
Lucas, you will catch. You're also. It makes sense because you're also the one closest there. This person was running in this direction. You will see that any foot traffic and everything else is mostly on this path that goes down south. The north one is overgrown. It doesn't really show signs of any real traffic moving along it. The one up here it's literally overgrown. There's a tree that's like partially grown over the path over here. Some shrubs and everything else in this direction. And it does go off that way, but you can see it's not well traveled. Below you here, we'll just go reveal the rest of the. Whoops, that's not the one I want. I want that. As the bottom of the map here, as the trail sort of hits down, winds around, and we'll start to wrap back toward the east. Which do you want to take the less traveled path or the more traveled path?
Less.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get chaotic up in here.
Okay. So you start moving through the brush. Kind of ducking under tree branches, kind of parting vines and pushing things out of the way. Elia, it's no issue for you to use Druidcraft to kind of force vines out of your path, and kind of clear a bit of any sort of like shrubs that are in the way and everything else. It's not like destroying them, just kind of making them move away, essentially. As you head along the trail off in this direction here. What you will eventually see then, let me change something real quick. I need to modify. You will eventually come to an area where the trail is partially washed away by a stream or a river. It is actually, don't put yourselves on this map yet because you're not going to be able to see this yet.
Nothing. Sora literally sees nothing. Her perception is a 0.
Okay, I'm going to move you back to the other map for just a moment here. As you eventually come to the trail itself that goes to the north there, is mostly washed out by a stream that is moving a little faster now. It's actually probably a good 8 to 10 feet across in spots. They're moving fairly swiftly, and has sort of carved a deep furrow across the trail ahead of you. It sort of the stream does head south, and you realize that this likely is, as mentioned, Elia, you recognize that this is probably where the stream it cuts down through the village would go. Do you want to try to follow the stream? Do you want to take an easier path, or what do you want to try to do?
What do you guys think?
Let's follow the
Up to
stream.
you.
We've gone this far.
Okay. Well, in
I
that
won't
case,
rest.
let me,
I automatically clean myself at the end of every day.
Let me change some things here real fast.
We're not resting yet, are we?
No, we're not resting.
It takes a good half an hour or so to get down along the way here. Let me just do a little bit.
We do have a lot of damage here if anybody wants to do any healing.
Yeah, you have time. You won't have time for a short rest or anything else because you are walking along. However, you would be able to use any kind of healing you want on the way. Eldon will offer up another healing spell if somebody wants it. Just let me know.
I would use it. Who's the hurt the most?
Elliot's down 10.
That's what I thought. So yeah, I'll just use mine up on her.
Lucas, where are you at?
Thank you. I'm down 9.
Rip.
You're down 9.
I am.
I'll give you 9 points of lay on hands.
I'm
Thank you.
Elia for 3.
Yay.
It's something.
It can save your life, okay? If you're down to 3, then we know. Wait, are we in turn order? We're not in turn order, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
You out of turn order.
Okay, cool.
Let me clear that real quick.
I would have to walk up to her, is all.
Okay. And let me take off the music. Okay. So, I think we're all set to move you into position here, I believe. I'm going to bring you guys over to the map. And you're going to be in the top center. So I'm going to ping it right up to here. Is it bringing you over there? Nope, not yet. Hold on.
How much more do you need?
There we go.
Me?
Yeah,
I need 6.
you got it. 6 points of
7.
lay on hands.
You only got 3. You're down 7.
Oh yeah, 7.
I
Well,
get
then
you
7.
some.
Fine.
I know. Thank you, Trevor. That was very
Move you all
helpful.
on here.
Yeah,
I'm just learning healing, okay?
I didn't prepare any healing spells for today because I figured Eldon and Lucas had it.
Eldon does. Eldon's healed quite a bit.
Lucas,
Yes.
is there... Where are
Uh-oh.
you hiding?
It's none of the players, Bernie.
Okay, good.
I think take a bounce.
So, alrighty. So, is everyone seeing the map here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And Lucas, as I'm seeing you as translucent right now. Are you on a different layer or something, or? Never mind. I moved you all on the map layer. One sec. Let me fix that real fast.
We're all
did you all.
translucent down here.
I know. I put you all on the wrong layer. One sec here. Let me.
Yeah, I can't move myself.
What the heck's going on here? There we go.
I'm behind the grid. This is uncomfortable.
I'm fixing you right now.
No, it's just weird. I've never seen it like. Oh, that.
I can't. Oh, I can.
Yeah, should be all good now. Yep. All right. Cool. Yeah, I was still on the map layer when I moved you on. Like, whoops, that doesn't work. Okay. So you will see this stream right here, kind of moving along here, and it sort of like hits. There's the palisade wall south of you here. You see the village here. It's a good. I mean, at this point, still like about 30, 40 feet away. As you start to approach here, you're still in the trees. And you'll basically see that the stream sort of hits, kind of has a bit of a little bit of a grate of some kind that goes under. It's kind of like goes through this grate into the village to the south, right about here.
Can you put the slide in front of us?
Sure.
I don't have control of him.
Oh, let me do that real fast. Represents. Ooh. Can I change that? It won't let me change the control of it.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, tell me where you want them, and ping the map where you want there. So I will say, you guys all get to about. You're still in the trees. Let's just go ahead and move you back a little bit. So you're a little bit. You're still a good. You're not quite coming out of the trees yet. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna get higher.
See what you see ahead of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna get higher in the trees and look. And like, no, this is pretty thick brush, though, isn't it?
It's fairly thick along here, yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, not. That's
and
not
and the stream is moving quickly. It is kind of burbling along there. You kind of hear it, kind of the rush of water over rocks and things there, over fallen logs and trees.
It's running. It's rushing towards the.
Yeah.
Towards
it's rushing
okay.
south. Yep.
Well, I'm not going to venture ahead, but I'm going to assume the slot is moving forward, or no?
You tell me.
I can't. Amethyst has to.
So are you just marching it straight ahead to the trees?
Is it staying behind, or is it
Good.
going up, like scouting a little bit, like going ahead?
Okay. The slot will not be stealthy. It will be crushing trees and smashing through brush,
Yep,
and you're going to be announcing your presence. So just keep that in mind, as this thing is not stealthy.
That's a good point. I'm gonna.
If you want to approach
I'll venture
without
ahead
being
stealthily.
noticed,
Yeah, I'll do
the
that.
slot is not going to lead the way.
That's a good point.
It's worse than Sora.
Wow.
I know, right?
I kind of just meant that he was going to walk in front of Ellie and I, so that.
Yeah, though that makes sense. I'm gonna venture forward a little bit with a 15. That's not bad.
Sure.
By the way, not far. 20 feet or 20 yards most, I would say.
I'm gonna look over at Elia and point and go, "Look, a city with walls."
Who said he's got walls?
It does now.
Shoot. 1 sec, sorry.
It wasn't a city before.
Guys, it's all gray ahead of us. Let's go back.
No, it shouldn't be.
End of the world.
Let's see.
If we look to the east, maybe a guy on a horse will come.
I don't get
you
that
will
reference.
see that there are some just barely over the wall. There's some kind of conical shaped roofs, kind of poking up there, and some more trees that you can see to the south there.
Oh, I would love while we're down, like
Okay, what
obviously
does that
this
do?
goes without saying, but I would be loading my rifle and
Sure.
gun.
Yeah. Keep track of you burned out one accumulator completely.
Yep.
And you got 2 shots from your rifle so far?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Good to note. Let me see here. So Trevor.
Yes.
Give me a perception check as you're moving forward.
Okie dokie.
Because you're moving stealthy. I'm going to assume you're moving forward a little bit ahead of everyone else there.
Okay. Rolling like ass tonight, guys.
Yeah, not so great there. However, as you get, you're still, you guys are a little further back there. I'm going to say you're more like about 60 feet back or so. And Trevor, you're probably about 40, maybe about 40 feet, 20 feet ahead of the group there.
Guys, look
moving through the trees.
Sorry.
And you hear a voice. Not in your head, but whispered in your ear. Well, looky here. I was hoping I get to see you again. You and all your friends are going to get torn apart in this place. And I'm going to love watching it happen. And give me a wisdom check.
Oh,
now, I will say...
goody.
Sure.
Oh, wait. No, I'm not. No, that's fine.
Yeah, your wisdom should be pretty decent. Okay. You recognize that voice.
As?
You heard it as you squared off against a certain hobgoblin sniper back on top of the museum.
Mother!
Ago.
Only one that could almost outshoot me.
And let's just see what happens here.
You've gotten better, though.
So is he.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
He ambushed me, didn't he?
Sure did.
Motherfucker. That's what I get. That's what I get for being
reckless.
Way
higher than yours, and his
oh yeah,
just high enough to
I
catch you.
deserve everything that's about to happen. Can I yell out before he does that? Oh, he's not doing shit.
He does have advantage, so it's not a natural 1, but there is a crack of a rifle. This actually is a rifle, and a shot comes from somewhere over in this direction. You're not sure where
direction?
exactly.
Like direction
but
ahead
a
of us?
bullet. Yeah, off to your right as you're so left on the map.
I do.
But the bullet just wings past you.
Yep.
And just basically goes through the branches of the trees. as the shot rings out, alarms are raised. And we're going to roll for initiative.
Yeah, we are. Oh. Yeah, he killed me last time, guys. He's not going to live. Okay.
Before you don't forget, I'm going to get the turn order up.
Sorry. Yeah.
You just snuck in there just in time.
Okay.
So yes, now we can start doing initiatives.
Ugh, my initiative. Oh my god, guys! I hope I roll better in this fight.
Go with that.
Critted.
Dang it! Hold on. Hold on 1 sec. Yes, we're on. Cool. What else do we have here on the map? Okay. Alrighty then. Is that everyone? Has everyone rolled now? So we're gonna put you're 60 feet from the wall. Just so you can kind of measure it out there. Is the map layer not showing where it's supposed to? 1 sec, real fast here. I think the map. There we go. Yes. 1 sec. My turn order's in the way. Okay. Okay. So why are you not seeing the grid? Oh, I know why. I'm a big dummy. There's the grid. There you go. Sorry. Okay. Everyone see the grid now? Everyone looks okay there?
Yep.
So basically, you're 60 feet from the wall currently. So as you move toward there, you can kind of count back to where you're actually technically off the map at this point. I believe Trevor might be the only one who's actually on the map right now. Actually, no, Trevor, you're just a little bit off the map. So we'll just kind of put you guys at the edge here, moving forward. Do this. I will ask one thing because this would be a good time. Lucas, on the half an hour or so you guys walked here, did you deliver a rousing speech?
Yes, I would have done.
Okay. Go ahead and get you guys your temporary hit points.
How many is it now?
Is it 12?
Yeah, how many is it now?
Or is it?
Uh, 14.
14. Okay, cool. Yeah, so
Cool.
14 temporary hit points. Mark those in your sheet there. You're going to need them. Okay. So again, this point, essentially, just making sure here, basically, So you are about twice as far away. It would take you 30 feet to get where you are right now on the map. We'll just say that. So if you make a 30-foot move forward, you'll get to where you are currently. Trevor, you're a little bit closer. So
Yep.
we'll call, yeah. Elia, you are first up.
What do I do?
Did she ever spells prepared now or no?
I don't know.
Hear. Oh, sorry. You know what? You can.
You can put me last.
Yeah, we'll kind of skip you in the turn order. So on your character sheet there, if you go to the manage spells button,
Yeah.
you can just pick out some spells. You get 12 spells to pick out.
Okay.
Whatever you want. Anything first level through fourth level, you can grab. So go ahead and spend a little time grabbing that. We'll just skip you in the turn order for right now and have Sora go first. Sora, you're first.
Sora is gonna cast Aid at second level.
Okay, on. Oh, all allies.
3. On 3, I believe.
Okay. So you all get an extra
No?
5.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
all?
On everybody.
3 creatures. No, it's 3 creatures within range.
Yeah.
And higher, you get to do an additional.
It's a second level spell anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, gotcha.
So
right,
it'll go on Trevor and Lucas and Elia.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on a little blue dot on the 3 of you. So you know you have 5 more hit points. And it's your maximum that's increased for 8 hours. It is not concentration.
Hell yeah.
No, that's why I did it.
Yep. So you have 5 more hit points.
Hey, that fills me up. Nice.
Yep. So it increases your maximum by 5 as
total,
well.
Your total
nice.
hit points.
Yeah. And gives you 5 hit points as well. So
Nice. It fills me up and then puts. Yeah, I like that.
Well, no, essentially it raises you by 5. It gives you 5 to go with it, so it doesn't actually go beyond. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so Sora, you cast it. I will say this, Sora, that's something you would have done on the way there, since it's an 8-hour duration spell with no concentration. You can do something else now.
All right.
As the walls come into view and you start to approach, you would have done this then.
And I know that Trevor was shot out by a dude, right? He would have told us that.
Well, you heard the shot. You absolutely heard the this was not like Trevor's guns where it's like the.
I heard
a crack.
Like he didn't talk. He didn't really say anything last time, right? Did he just shoot me and kind of bounce?
You guys confronted each other on the roof.
You had a conversation on the roof.
You had a conversation there before he left.
Oh, we did have a conversation. You're right. And even though, like, I would know that rifle shot, that much I know anyway.
Mm-hmm. So again, it's 30 feet to get to here. So if you're moving forward, it's 30 to get to here, and then you can move. Then at that point,
I'll
have to
dash to here. Yeah, and then I'll just hold my hammer in my hand, waiting. I can't do anything else. Oh, I have a bonus action I can use.
Actually, I want to point out here. Do you want to be on this side of the stream or this side of the stream? Do you want to approach over to here? You want to approach over on the right side? It is a fairly wide and fast moving stream.
I assumed we were tromping through it. Okay, I will be on the left hand side.
Okay, so you're gonna be over here. Cool. Put you right about there, or wherever you want to be on the area. So yeah. Okay.
In the tree work, because I'll have some covered.
We'll shift you all over slightly just so you're on. Yeah. So this is this side of the stream. Yeah. All right.
Bonus action?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll do that.
Go there. You see the
wall
kind of makes a turn around the side over here.
Yep. I'll have a divine favor up because it does an extra 1d4 radiant damage.
Concentration for a minute. Okay, so I'm going to mark the concentration on you, so we know you have a concentration spell. Oh, we'll go ahead with let's see, we'll put a timer on you. That works. So you have that divine favor going there. So you do some radiant damage. Okay. Next we have Amethyst.
I guess we can't actually see anything yet, can we?
You see the wall ahead of you. You see the stream goes underneath the wall over this way. You can't see much beyond the trees over this direction because the stream's kind of in the way. Direction-wise, I would say this. Elia and I would say Trevor especially, you would think that the road that came in, Elia, the road that you saw above there would come in from this direction over here. So whatever gate you saw would come over here.
I might climb up this tree.
Well, it's 30 feet to get to here, and that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would get to basically the base of the tree. You wouldn't be able to climb up it from there.
I can go as far as I want, though. I can go twice as far.
Oh, right, yeah, to backseat dash, yeah. So you just up the tree. Okay, in that case, I will point out some things you're going to see from up there. Let's go ahead and reveal a bunch more since you're up there now. So from high up in the tree, you're going to see about all that much. And then you're going to see, So you will see a couple of wagons here and here. You will see, come on now. A whole group of those lunar elk you saw before.
Cool.
Off in sort of fenced in areas over here. You see something drawn on the ground. Some sort of writing and stuff on the ground over here. You can't quite make it out what it is, but there's something over here. And water, big sort of pond over here, little bridge, buildings all over the place. And that's about all you see for the moment. Yeah, so the slog gonna dash?
Yeah, it'll come to as close as it can get to me.
So do one. Whoops, come on now. Want to go to objects, thank you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get right up to the wall. And you'll notice the slide's about 9 feet tall. And it's basically eye level with the top of the wall.
Okay.
The wall's only about 9 feet high. So the tree, you're actually looking down over there. Again, you see buildings, you see all kinds of that. That's all you see currently. Right. Anything else?
No, not yet.
Okay. Amethyst, you're probably only can spot this right now. But you will see a dark cloak shaped, kind of tucked up in this tree right here. And it will kind of glance over. It obviously can see you there. It looks over and sees you in the tree there and bounds over to here and is going to make a hide check. Let me pull that up here. Let me do this real fast because I don't want you to see this roll.
I'll telepathically tell Sora that something's just run over that direction.
You lose
in my direction.
You lose,
over this way somewhere.
Yep. You lose track of him. You see him kind of bound into the trees over there and he's just sort of like gone for the moment. And at that point, yeah.
We did see that roll, by the way.
You saw
we did see. Yeah.
It shouldn't show you for something on the GM overlay, but anyway, yeah. It was enough that whatever did that, we'll just call it good. So it beats your passive anyway. So it's going to, you hear a voice, not in your head, but whispered in your ear. You killed Melon. Melon, you were the one that blew his head up, weren't you? You are going to die for that.
No, you.
You can respond. You know, this is the message. This is the message cantrip.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, more things inside our heads.
Definitely responded.
No, this was actually out loud. You could hear it. It wasn't inside your head.
Yes, I'll just
it was a whispering voice.
Gotcha.
You're the one that's going to die.
And you kind of hear that faint chuckle from somewhere off in that direction.
Did you see the way their head exploded? Wasn't that amazing?
Okay. From your position there, Amethyst. Yeah, we're gonna do that. You will see another one of those large snakes come slithering up out of the water.
Ugh.
Right about there. Another massive constrictor snake there, that yellowish brown scales. It just sort of like slithers up in this direction there. You just kind of see it in that position. Let me see here. We've got, and I need to do some, let's see. I think this is the one we're going to use. Yeah. No, that's not the one we're going to use. That's too happy. This is the one.
We want a bit more doom and gloom.
Okay. Let's see here. Sure. Where's he at? Here he is. Okay. Amethyst, you're going to see a hooded figure steps out onto a little, it's like a little pier almost on the back side of a building here. Comes into view. Let me show that building real fast. There's a... Come on. Why are you doing this? There's a large building kind of like on stilts over this pond area. And this guy steps out onto a little, almost like a little pier on the back of it. No. Right here. And you see him look up at you in the tree. And just pull out a bow and line up a shot. And looses an arrow in your direction. Uh, 22 will hit.
Well.
For 7 piercing and 9 poison damage.
Ouch.
As the arrow thunks into you. Elia, you can feel it too.
There goes my temporary hit point.
However, there's no actual damage or pain as it drains into the temporary hit points. You kind of feel that resolve you had as the arrow sort of skitters over your shoulder, not causing just a very superficial scratch over your shoulder, but the arrow, slight amount of stinging from the poison as it scratches across your shoulder. That would be that. Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, let me put you someplace a little bit closer because you are in a tree.
Yep.
So you should be more right about here, up in a tree.
Do I see the green carriage?
Probably not from where you are. You might be able to see the roof of it a little bit.
So
you can see a roof of something large over here, but it's yeah.
It's obscured. Okay.
Yeah, you can see something there, but it's hard to make out what it is exactly.
Okay. Well, either way, I'm moving forward a little bit.
Sure. Through the trees?
Yeah, through the trees.
Okay.
And I'm actually going to go ahead and pop down here with Sora.
Okay.
Actually, a little bit behind, right about here, just at the base of the tree.
Sure.
Actually, I'm moving one more over. Right about there, and just peer as far as I can to see.
And do it. Well, there's that 9-foot wall ahead of you.
Right.
A tree up here, and there's this little grate that goes along here.
Okay. I moved 20. No. I was right here. No, I was up here, so I wouldn't be able to.
It's 30 feet to get to me.
Yeah. So now there's not really much. I'm gonna. No, I couldn't grapple up there because I've used most of my movement, right? So
you could grapple and use your dash to use that.
Yeah, I totally will. I need to get over this wall.
Okay.
Specifically, I'm going to get on top of the wall.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's
literally just a palisade with some sticks there. You can kind of be in the tree next to there.
Okay, got it.
It isn't like a parapet or anything else across.
Right, I'm going to hop over the wall completely and get as far as I can. Right about, not as far as I can, but I mean as far as I can over the wall.
Okay.
And drop down here.
Sure, go for it. Yeah. So you drop down over the wall. You can see, at this point through here, you can see there is a set of buildings over here. A very large circular building over here.
Right.
You can see a wagon shape, kind of wagon in front of there. It's kind of obscured by buildings. You can kind of see there's a wagon there. And you see a second smaller wagon here. kind of just through the trees there across the stream right next to you. But this wagon's about the one that you recognize.
Mm-hmm.
This one is much larger, you can tell just from the scale of it.
Yeah, he's putting it together right about now. I put it together as soon as I seen it. But, yeah. I just yell out, everyone here dies. And that's my turn. There's not really anything else I can do at this point.
Even me?
All right. Okay, so we're going to have some folks here. Let's do you and you. Okay. What was that? Okay. Right. So Trevor, you're kind of standing somewhat in the open there. This guy's gonna move over to here, next to the big snake. Actually, past the big snake, so he's got a little more of a clear shot. He's gonna shoot at you. This one's gonna have a little bit more of an obscured shot, but he'll be right over about here, doing the same thing. So these two are gonna both shoot at you. Dropped over the wall.
Yep.
First one taking his first shot. 20. Well,
Absolutely.
Piercing damage. So, thunk.
Yep.
And second one will take one shot. 21 for 10 piercing.
That brings. I didn't even feel it hardly.
Yep.
Cool.
So essentially, that first one it just sort of like grazes through your coat there. As the temporary hit points get absorbed.
I did take some damage. I ended up taking
2.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, those two kind of move into place there. This one is up on the pier, and there's a big snake there that you see so far.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you're seeing at the moment here.
How high up is the pier?
What's that?
How high up is the pier that he's standing on?
It's basically just over top of the water. So the building is the building behind him is on stilts, on top of this like large pond, basically, and the pier is just sticking out from the back door of it, because it's pretty much about maybe 2 or 3 feet off of the water, on stilts. So yeah, it's a little short pier, so we can step out there and look out in the pond. So yes, that's gonna be that. Nothing there. Lucas, you're up.
So it was 60 foot from the wall when we start.
Yeah, so basically you're it takes 30 feet to get to here. Yeah. And then you can see, so a move will get you, a full move will get you there.
Didn't see where you pinged.
Sorry, right up here. The edge of the map where you're standing right now. That's
30 foot.
Yeah.
I'll cast first and then move to there.
Okay. So you are invisible for a minute. Cool. Anything as a bonus action?
No.
Okay. Right. They're all gonna stay where they are, I think, for the moment. There's no reason they need to get involved yet. Elia, you are now up.
Yay. So I don't know what to press to share the spell, but I want to do Call Lightning.
Just click on the spell itself. There's a little chat window looking thing.
If you're on D&D Beyond, there's a little red box that says cast next to the name of the spell.
Okay, yeah. I'm on Beyond.
Or if you want to cast it at a higher level, just scroll down to whatever level it is.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Holy shit
Now,
balls.
I would like to point out the fact that I did say that the sky is overcast on the way in here. So, let's see. So where are you? Let's see. Let me details of the spell real fast so I can see.
Yeah, I wanted to share it, but I'm not finding that little.
Yeah,
button.
there's a way to do that, but it's okay. We'll pull it up here. And come on here, spell.
Hit the eye icon that's right next to the name.
Oh. And then that pulls it open, but how do I cast it to?
You casted it already.
No,
to
like,
send it to the chat, you hit the actual spell itself. The name of it will highlight, and you just click on it.
Yeah, if you click on the name of the spell, there should be a box that appears on the right-hand side, and then if you there's a little red button at the top that says "Cast on VTT," and then it should come up.
Yeah, it's just making me roll.
Okay. Let me just see. It's okay. We'll use the first one there. It's not letting you. Okay, that's fine. I want to say here. That's not what I want. I don't have a template for this.
There it goes. No, got it, guys.
Good cool. Job. So it's 60-foot cylinder, 120 feet. So yeah, we're gonna basically. Where do you want to center this?
All over the bad guys.
Okay, so kind of in the middle here.
Yeah.
We all had the same item, like 3 pins.
Yep. Okay. So basically, I want to just we'll measure this out real fast here to see what we have. So from here to roughly off the map down here. Foot cylinder, so basically there to.
I mean, it's hurricane season.
Yep.
Quite literally.
Okay. So it's going to be, and then it's going to be, according to this, DC 15 dex save for.
Assuming you don't want to hit Trevor.
Trevor wouldn't be in it.
No.
If it's centered over here, it's 60-foot cylinder, so it's basically.
Oh, it's a cylinder. Okay.
It's not a radius. Oh no, it's a 60-foot radius. Never mind.
Yeah, it's a foot
Trevor,
radius.
Run, Trevor.
Okay,
I mean, he could make his dex save. You still take half of it.
She can get it far enough back that it's.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can. If you centered it like basically back on the center of the town, on the back side of the building, right here, because you can't quite see from there.
Just saying.
Let me specify here. You can. Okay, I'll help you out a little bit here. Bonus action. No, that won't work. Never mind. Shoot. How are you going to see from there? Because there's a wall between you and where you want to center this. So.
Okay.
You would almost have to move up to where Amethyst is to be able to see in and then cast it.
I mean, unless I don't want to have to do this, but like if I use my wild shape, did a bird's eye thing real quick, landed, then you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, you could fly somewhere and land, and then be able to see, but that would take your action, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, circle the moon. Okay, so let's see. Right now you can't see the building to cast on it at this point from where you are back here. You're 30 feet back further than this. You move up to here, you're still like 30 feet from the wall, and the wall's 9 feet. So it might be a little difficult to see where you again, with a 60-foot radius, you're going to have a hard time. Oh wait, hold on.
No, the area is 60 foot, but it's a one lightning bolt with 5-foot radius.
And yeah, you to the point you see under the cloud. Okay, so you can create a cloud. So the cloud can form basically right above Amethyst, and 60-foot radius beyond that. That you could drop a lightning bolt on. So pretty much from here covers most of this half of the town. So yeah, so if you place the cloud kind of up here, just above the tree where Amethyst is, and then you can start. Once you can see, you can start dropping lightning bolts on the inside there.
All right.
That's how it works. Sorry.
There we go.
So yeah, we'll go ahead
on
and
her shoulders, and then just.
Yeah, I have a token for him. So I will essentially. I'm going to do this. I'm going to basically put a little token. Let's see what's a good one up here. We'll put this kind of here, and then send it back to the map. So, imagine that cloud is much, much bigger. And then I'll make a better token for it later. So, Sora,
Yeah.
as the clouds roll in, you kind of glance up there and feel the kind of like lightning crackling in your hammer. As you kind of look up and see
Tingly.
the storm like filling in that space. You hear the sound of voices calling out on the wall beyond, from the wall beyond you. There's shouts and screams and various sounds of alarm and hissing and voices there. Quite a few voices, in fact. And with your action, as you prepare to charge and prepare to move into space there, we're going to call it for today and take this battle next time.
Damn it.
You guys, this is going to be a thing.
Yep.
And
I don't know how Sora's going to get over the wall, just so you know.
It won't be that hard for you. You're
Go
smart.
around.
You have athletics. You can go up and over it.
Yeah, and even if not, you can just go around here.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
yeah,
remember you're pushing 7 feet tall. It doesn't take much to jump up and grab the top of the wall and then pull yourself over. You have the strength for it.
Yep.
So you're going to be okay. So anyway, I want to thank you all for being here. Running a little bit late here for the moment here, but I want to say next time join us in here for this crazy battle these people have gotten themselves into as they charged in from a fun direction. And we'll see how things go next time as we come back for the major battle. With that, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for my players for being here. Thank you for Natalie for jumping in and being Ellie this week there. We'll talk and see if you can continue that next time. And we'll go on from here. Thanks again, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you again next Saturday.